What has happened? Wow, we've got a patch, and oh boy, was it one hell of a patch as well. A very impressive one. This will be a unique tea time, guys, because I actually don't think we're going to shit-talk the game actually that much. Even MMO Inks isn't going to shit-talk the game that much.
MMO Inks.
The man himself.
Yeah.
So,
I said, so I had a conversation with Matthew Medina on Twitter a little bit where he was talking about, so Matthew Medina was talking about how great a job the team did because of the moving platforms and the elevators, and that was something apparently they struggled with for a while, and they finally made it happen, and it's awesome. And they were like, they pulled miracles off. I said, you know what? They did pull miracles off because I actually liked timing this episode. It was a miracle.
Wait, you like timing?
You like timing.
It's the hairstyle. It's the new hairstyle, definitely.
No, it's not the hairstyle. I felt like overall throughout the story she was less annoying. She wasn't quite as intrusive, and even more so, there's an end scene at the very end where she meets Golem.
By the way, spoilers.
Don't spoil.
We're doing a lot of spoilers.
Wait, what do you mean?
Sam? Yeah, we're doing no spoilers. What? Come on.
No, we're not doing no spoilers. We're doing full spoilers. But we have to warn people.
Okay.
No, we're doing full spoilers, but we have to warn people.
Okay.
We're still warning people, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, spoilers. She meets her schoolmate Blish at the end, and she makes some comments about, the frailty of life. Being free of the frailties of life. She's totally going to become a golem herself at some point. And I can't wait. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, she's going to turn into a golem.
Right there.
That was actually a really lovely arc. Actually, even I can say that wasn't honestly, the thing I still can't get past is the voice actor. But that's just tasting, right? It just pisses me off. I don't know. I can't take it.
Blish as a golem really actually makes me question some things, some additional things. So you know how the whole magic and souls and energy thing in Guild Wars 2, and let's say somebody's magical essence gets transported into a different being or gets corrupted, it might still be him in there or whatever. But what happens when a golem that's Blish? Is that his magical energy in there, or is that just his computer being programmed with his mind?
No, it's his consciousness. So there's an Asura personal story that you can play, and I don't remember which one. Maybe it is Dynamics, but there's an Asura personal story where there's a story about you as the Snap Savant are part of a crew, and you develop this golem technology, and you download one of the crewmates into the golem. He or she, I can't remember, gets stuck in there. Right. So you have an option at the end of that story arc where the boyfriend or girlfriend of the one trapped in the golem can also be transferred into a golem via the technology you invented, or they can stay out of it so that they become giant golems together. And that seems to be what Blish
so when you get downloaded, is it just your mind that gets downloaded, or is it your entire essence or whatever?
Well, I assume it's your consciousness.
Yeah.
So there's still
I don't think they go into deep psychological.
No, but I just want to know the difference between. I want to know the difference between a golem with the essence of Blish in him, and let's say if they sucked the energy out of Blish, the soul of Blish out, as it is in the Guild Wars 2 universe, and put it in a construct body instead, like a magical. The difference between a mechanical construct and a magical construct in this case, what is the difference there? Is there a difference, or is it the same?
But how could we possibly know? That's the real question here, Boots.
I know.
Yeah, I guess
it's how will you know if the AI is fucking with you? When the AI is invented in real life, how will we know if it's trolling us and it's going to wipe us all out?
You can't.
I think as far as Guild Wars 2 goes, it's meant to be that your consciousness, your quote-unquote soul or whatever, is in the machine.
Yeah.
So, but hold on a second, though. Is it in the machine, or is it in the afterlife right now? Because is it just downloading his conscious? I don't know, man.
We don't even know the full story as to how or why he got into the golem yet. I'm sure we'll find out later. Just that his younger brother Gorik, who is the bug entomologist, gets rather annoyed with people because when they see Blish, they have a particular reaction to him and treat him rather poorly.
Yeah.
So when Timey has that very heartfelt reaction of "you're beautiful, you don't have to worry about the frailties of life," which is something she obviously connects with very deeply. Not only because of her disability, which they really haven't touched on since season 2, but she nearly suffocated in the last episode, right? And she's a much more somber character. She's also larger than the smallest Asura you can make now, and she's physically been growing over time, so she's getting even larger. Her hairstyle, obviously, she doesn't have it wrapped up in the bun anymore, so ArenaNet, not just for Timey, but a lot of the characters in this story, ArenaNet's really trying to drive them in evolving, maturing directions.
Yeah, like Rox's voice.
Yeah.
Like Rox's voice. We haven't seen her in a while. She's been chain smoking. It takes a toll on your voice box there, and some people said to me like, "Oh, I didn't even notice." I'm like, "How can you not notice? The voice is totally different." But
maybe they don't play with voice on.
That's true.
Maybe
that would be a way not to notice. That's
a good way not to notice. Yeah.
Going back to that golem thing, I am actually wondering, because we're talking about moving consciousness into a machine, and the questions that I would have would be, at which point is this not related to necromancy? Because like a necromancer can technically separate the soul and the body, and then souls, we saw a lot of them, especially in Wing 5, etc. Souls are being sucked, and yeah.
No, you make a very good point, because there's I think in like the Asura starting zone, isn't there that lab that you could go to that they talk about golemancy? And I forget what they're saying exactly. I think either golemancy is a mix between necromancy and some other magic, or she's doing a mix between golemancy and necromancy. I forget which one, but it's true. Golemancy is a weird thing, and so
It's important to remember that in Guild Wars 2, there's the blend between technology and magic is kind of a bit blurred, right? So it's kind of a form of magic even on itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this was especially explored in Guild Wars 1, actually. This was a big thing in Guild Wars 1, actually, and there was loads of stuff. There were these side quests with Zin and stuff that actually kind of explored this concept, I think, in Guild Wars 1, so you can go check that out if you want to.
Now hold on a second. Let's say we have Blish. I figure golems, you could pretty much copy their mechanical pathways and make a copy of a golem, right? Could you copy Blish?
Oh my God.
No, because the soul, there is only one. Like you don't.
We don't know if
his
soul.
You can't
is
copy
in
a soul.
We don't know if his soul is in there.
Like,
It could just be mechanical pathways.
But the question is, like, in the circumstances of this happening, let's say you have a human being or an asteroid, like a living being. Okay, it dies. Somehow the soul needs a new body to house it, because the body is not functioning anymore. The heart doesn't beat, the blood doesn't flow, it's dead, and the soul cannot stay in this. So if you take it and you put it into a crystal or something that can like have a certain quantity of data being stored, and just basically store all the data of the consciousness, you can have the individual again. But can you copy that data again to another golem, or is it like tied to something specific and unique, a soul?
Do you know what this means? There's going to be an army of Timies. An army of Timies. They're gonna make a Timey golem, and then they copy. Imagine if that's how we actually end up being the Elder Dragon. Like we summon 50 Timies, and they're all different golems, and they just go. You know what they're gonna go with this, right? They're gonna end up they're gonna transplant Timey into Scruffy, like the next edition.
I said that as well. I actually thought that might be a thing, but.
This question is.
But then, what about the chair? This
question is very similar to something else I was thinking about with the pale tree, which what's happening with the pale tree right now? Nobody really knows. But anyway, something else that happened with the pale tree.
Slowly healing.
A possibility with it, because the pale tree has the dream has like all the memories basically of all the Sylvari who ever were, and. Technically, what the pale tree is able to do when it makes a new Sylvari is implant it with memories, right, to get it started in the world. Technically, couldn't it just then take the exact memories of a deceased Sylvari and implant those perfect copy into a new Sylvari and just make a clone of an old Sylvari?
Only if it retains the memories of the dead, which we
I think
don't
it
know if they
does.
do.
It does.
I think it does.
Actually does. Yeah. Like
So
because they
technically, I
have
guess
the memories
so?
of the firstborns, like the firstborns who died. Their memories are present within the new ones. They're aware of it. They see part of it in the dream. They
Right,
don't
so
have
that's
the
not
entirety
the
of the
same.
memories
experiences,
copied,
but what's the
but
difference?
they have some of the experiences and memories. But then you can just try to see it as two separate things. Like in, let's say, the soul, you'd have like the memories, and you have the being, the uniqueness of that specific individual. And like you die, it gets separate, and you have like physical, like memory data. You can put that into a golem, and you have the uniqueness. So you can put both into a golem, case of Blish, or you can like separate the two. You have the memory going somewhere, case of the Peltry, and the uniqueness. If you don't also have that, it's not a clone. Like it's not exactly the same. And you can't make multiple copies.
All I know is that what's going to happen in the storyline is they're going to make Taimi's going to make 50 copies of herself as golems.
Yes.
And then the Peltry is like, no, we can't have that. 50 Traherns to battle the 50
50
Taimys.
Traherns. Oh,
I don't think so.
my
I do think that she's going to. I do think she's going to make herself into a golem. I don't whether she combines herself with Scruffy or not. I don't know, but obviously, I think she's going to give up the frailties of life to become a golem at some point. You know, maybe she does. Maybe another traumatic event happens, or another something that pushes her over the edge to make this happen. But somebody else suggested too that she just becomes part of the system.
Whoa.
Some lab system that she creates.
Whoa.
She just downloads herself
into a computer.
Supercomputer.
Whoa. That's pretty crazy.
But then again, think about it. If she can,
into your voice comm.
Yeah,
Yeah. If she can download herself into a computer and network, basically she could have like an incredible army of golems and have control over all of them at the same time. Like,
what?
why
So
clone yourself?
game
Why
shit,
just clone yourself when you can just be in the main frame and have control over everything else? And if she can hack into other people's stuff, like I think there was something about Scarlet at one point doing something similar with Asheron technology. And if we can hack into someone else's system, don't you get control over their stuff as well? Couldn't she just like become Queen of the Inquest?
The bug in the system.
A Taimi in the system.
A Taimi in the system.
That sounds kind of scary.
There you go.
It sounds worryingly plausible, guys. I mean, I don't know. Like this is going to happen, and Taimi's going to take over everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? She was a lot less annoying in this episode, which I really appreciated. And
yes, I agree.
She actually had some really good story points, and I'm actually excited to see her. You know, whether she turns into a golem or not, and to find out exactly how that works. On top of that, she's building her own crew, because finally the story realizes that Taimi just can't do everything by herself, even though she kind of has to this point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to alleviate some of that. Okay, she's doesn't actually have the answer to every single thing. She needs an entomologist, for example, or whatever the case is.
Everybody needs an entomologist.
Of course, yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want that?
But I think that one of the reasons
it's multidisciplinary, dude. You know, it's multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the reasons why she is less annoying this time around is that the story isn't entirely centered around you doing something. Like, usually it's you doing something, and then it's Taimi pulling the strings in the background. She's like, you got to do this, you got to do that. Oh my God, this is happening. Oh, I have to do this, etc. And this time around, you're into the new Inquis base. You have to explore it, but you also discover another character that has importance to Taimi and who is not you. And she has to focus on the other character as well, which means that she's not going to be completely on your back and telling you to do stuff and being completely on voice comm. And that made her less annoying to me. Like, her focus was somewhere else. And this also gave some depth to her and to the rest of the story. Not just being, you got to run some errands, kill some stuff, you know?
This episode was really good.
Yes,
This was, besides
Taimi, we didn't have to do hearts. Thank you, ArenaNet.
Yes.
Thank you for not
We could just go...
I'll do the hearts eventually, but I didn't have to do hearts to progress the story.
Yeah.
I could just keep playing the story, which felt really good.
That was good. It felt like, at least, I know in the AMA they said that it could have been anywhere, and it really shows in this episode, because the map itself is it was for the story. The map, everything about the map was story driven, and it really showed because it felt a lot more tight, the whole story with this map. It was really good. Did anybody else get like Battle of Endor vibes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the whole story.
There's a couple of points in the story where in my playthrough, I kept saying, "So we're Star Wars, huh? Is that what we're doing now?" There was a couple of times
take out the communications array.
Captain Sly was Solo.
There's the communications array. You got to shut down the shield generators so that the airship can come in and do its attack run. You
got little furry companions as the natives of the land.
You're dressed up in Decoy the Golem, and you got 2 prisoners. You're bringing the Jabba's palace. I mean, the Inquest base.
Short to be a Decoy Golem?
Yeah, that's right. I barely fit in here. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of little, like, I don't know if that's what they were going for, but
felt like it. Yeah,
got that vibe a lot.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, definitely felt that way.
The flow was definitely really good. Actually, the flow of the story was really good, and it was a good chunk of it as well. Right, there was a good chunk of it. It went on.
Yeah.
For some time, and it was a meaty episode, wasn't it?
It felt like a season-ending episode, but it's just like it was an enemy that we didn't have to have a season-ending episode on, so we couldn't have it as a season-ending episode.
Well, here, and this kind of comes to the a criticism I would have of this episode. Okay, is that in my opinion, it didn't actually push the main plot as much as it could, and it was kind of a bit like almost like a side story. Also, the potatoes have arrived, by the way, boys. WP with the host, boys. But anyway, continue, my friends.
Yeah, the overall story, the overall story itself didn't progress a whole ton, but it was full of character development. So I don't know. I'm okay with that, I guess.
Yeah, it was something that has been long awaited, and I actually know that a bunch of people I've talked to about this are really happy about this. Is the kind of the Char story, you know what I mean, like the Char lore kind of being fleshed out a bit, or just having something for the Char, right? But I think we didn't really learn anything new with regards to the main plot, which looks like it is going to be Joko, right, and his kind of quest to do whatever he does, right? And we didn't really learn anything new, because at the end of the episode, we just know that he has these plague samples, right? But we knew he was going to do that anyway, right? He was going to try and unleash this horrific plague. So there's nothing really new. But I mean that's okay, right? It's okay to have a little bit of different pacing, explore some side avenues in the story as well. But I was surprised that we didn't see more direct development.
The fact that it was a side story might have given them more leeway to make whatever they wanted to make as a self-contained episode, right? They were able to do all this interesting stuff without having to worry about plot development elsewise.
Well, and it's exactly right. It's plot development. They build up a lot of the little details. They fill in the details now so that you're not confused later when they just say, "Oh, this is happening," and you're like, "Wait, when did we learn that? Just now?" Like, you don't have those surprise moments later because they filled the information in with this episode. For example, they talked about Kralkatork at least 2 separate times about what abilities Kralkatork has received from the other dragons. It has the hive mind from Madrimoth, and it can raise dead into branded from Zaitan. So in detail. So then next episode, when we're likely to deal with Kralkatork now, and it features Casimir and Marjorie, which is what I believe the next episode will be about. A lot of the things that is happening with the minions of Kralkatork and Kralkatork themselves is going to make a lot more sense to us rather than just, wait, why can it do that exactly?
And this is where Timey comes back in. How do you deal with all the branded? Golem army.
A Golem army. An army of Timies. A massive army of Timies.
The Clone Wars.
Yeah, they could do all the Star Wars, right? They've already done. They can bring in loads of Star Wars. Yeah. They can
just the Star Wars stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Actually, it's not the Clone Wars. It's more like the Separatists with the droids. But
yeah,
I mean, you know where it's going, right?
Exactly. That would be kind of funny.
Actually, I have a question that you guys might be able to answer because you are more about the lore than I am. When we killed that general of Palawa Joko at the end of the episode,
Lanai.
she thanked us for bringing deliverance upon her, more or less.
Yeah.
And the question about that is, how possible is it that some other generals of Palawa Joko are actually wanting to reach such deliverance themselves, because they've been stuck with him for so long?
I have a feeling that all of them are like that.
How likely would it be that at some point we get to like pick some of them, take them to that place we were with her, and where they're not connected anymore, and that somehow they can speak their own mind and be freed from the control of Joko?
I think the trouble
how
is,
likely would it be that we turn them against him? Like, that's a question that I have for you, lore-bound people.
Well, I mean, it would be a nice poetic justice kind of thing, because he has all of these minions that he's made into slaves, basically. But they don't have free will, really. They still have their sentience, but are completely under his power. And so it would be nice poetic justice for them to turn on him finally. So
and I don't think we don't fully understand how his resurrection works compared to the others.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little bit of an idea of how it works. Well, versus Zaitan or, I guess now Kraukatoric, because his are branded, right? Because, like you said, they are sentient, but they don't have any free will of their own. And there seems to be a distance thing as well to some aspect, because Kos is hidden away in a cave.
Yeah.
And by doing so, he's able to ignore Joko.
Yeah.
Joko's
and
commands.
Communicate normally as well, and do whatever he wants.
So if Joko found him, I guess, then he would be re-exposed and have to listen to whatever Joko tells him to do. So like there's little details about how that works that we don't fully understand just yet, but it would be interesting if there was magic or something that happens later in the story where we're able to block that sort of hive mind of his, and then his awakened could have free will to do whatever they want.
Test it on Joko, use it against Kraukatoric. There we go.
Yeah. Well, I imagine as with most things, like there's probably some kind of technology that could be used to isolate the lieutenants from Joko's influence, right?
Tinfoil hats?
Tinfoil hat. Yeah. I imagine there is some way that it could be done, some kind of like isolation chamber where you can access their previous personalities, right? Even to kind of free. And that could be an interesting way to go. I mean, of course, that is. So, I mean, surely the Azura could come up with something, right? Like, come on, it's magic. They can do whatever they want. Or worse comes to worst, we simply drag the undead to Lion's Arch, go into the fractals, job done. There you go. Simple stuff, boys. There we go. It's not the most elegant solution.
Easy peasy.
But it might be a little bit contrived, but good to go. We can do it. But yeah, Timey's going to do it. Half Expansion Mike is pointing it out. That name never ceases to amuse me, I have to say.
So Timey is going to figure out a way to make wormholes and stuff to get them really far away. Could we call that episode A Wrinkle in Timey?
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Jeez. Did you see some of the names from, I don't know whether it was from the Guild chat or the AMA, they showed some of the names, the funny names, before they came with the serious names for Rataprimus. It was like Ratatat-Tat and Ratabing, Rataboom or something, and there were some funny ones in there from Tom Abernathy. But, yeah.
These memes, dude. There's some good memes here, that's for sure. Like, naming things is funny, okay? Naming things is funny, especially when it's funny references, dude. But yeah, it's really exciting to see what is gonna happen next. And you know what? Also, something that I want to kind of touch on, just whether the story was good, we all agree on this. The writing was good, it was fun. You know what was also really awesome? Too. The instances and the actual activities you had to do in this story episode were really good, right?
Really good.
Puzzles and stuff?
The portal puzzles.
Yeah,
the
puzzles were really good.
All the puzzles going, like the final fight was awesome, getting sucked into those portals and going all over the place. Fight like in the volcano, next to the cloud Jormag.
Jormag
was really
wrecked
awesome.
me a couple of times.
Like I said, this was like a season finale episode. Maybe even better than some of the other season finale episodes we've gotten.
Definitely.
But like it's actually just a side story. Yeah, it's really good.
It was really, really good. And we even had some new models, right? We had a few new models. We had that golem model, right? That new kind of weird golem model that the Inquest had. That was really nice. And yeah, just the detail in the instances that we saw was really, really impressed, right? We had a bunch of, funny mini games to do with, as we said, the Portal, which is a really, not only a, really nice reference, but also really well executed, a lot of fun. Honestly, I would have liked to seen that extended, right? In my opinion, it was way too short.
Yeah.
No, it was actually the right length. Like, if there were only puzzles and puzzles and puzzles, it would have been too gimmicky.
Okay, fine. Well, in that case, why not have almost like a jumping puzzle, but with that, right? Like a separate place with like a really extended version of that. Or
that I approve of.
Yeah. So
what's really interesting about those things as well is those puzzles, like the Portal puzzle, for example, that was done in the open world, but only you affected the puzzle.
Yeah.
Which confused the heck out of me at first, because when I got there, there's maybe
you were
10
worried
or
that
15
other people were.
Well, there was 10 or 15 other people jumping around and fighting things and doing whatever, and I'm pressing buttons and I didn't understand what the heck was. I'm like, I'm pressing stuff, but nothing seems to be really happening. I don't understand the puzzle, right? So I'm like, are they affecting what I'm doing, but it turns out that only you affect those puzzles,
which is great. That's like phasing in open world, which is
it's a really nice piece of tech.
Really nice tech,
which I think is really interesting. If you were to put something like that into a jumping puzzle environment, it means Mesmers might be able to just skip you ahead anyway. But if they can't skip you ahead, that means everybody's responsible for their own.
But I don't know about that though, because like if they do that in jumping puzzles, then maybe you have like a platform that only appears if you do a certain thing, and then somebody behind you who hasn't done that thing sees you jump on an invisible platform, and he's like, "Oh, I guess there's an invisible platform there."
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be invisible, I suppose. But what do you think about? And SWTOR did this. I'm not sure about other MMOs myself. But I know SWTOR did this for sure. But they had a raid boss that had a puzzle. And you had to solve the puzzle in a particular amount of time in order to like phase part of the raid boss. So you had to send two groups off. You had a main group fighting the boss, keeping them occupied. You had to send two groups off to solve the puzzles very quickly. Otherwise, the damage or whatever that the boss did increased very rapidly.
I wonder if there isn't something like this.
You think that's too terrible?
I'm not saying that it's challenging group content, but I'm saying that a lot of people would get way too challenged from this. It's not good in Game Wars 2.
That would be.
I mean, it would be a cool idea, but maybe for an open world boss, maybe not like in instance content, because it would create toxicity.
The only downside was
what in Guild Wars 2.
The only downside was that the puzzle had like a finite number of combinations. So once you learned all those combinations, someone published a guide, it really wasn't like you just know what to press or what to do, right?
Would you join raids in looking for group with like pro Sudoku solver?
Please have puzzle master achievement or something. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, that would be funny. Well, yeah, I mean, it would be kind of cool to see some, puzzling in the group content at least. Right? You don't necessarily need to have it attached to the bosses, but I think the trouble is that after a while it becomes a bit of a pain, right? Like stuff like solving the puzzle, like the puzzle in stuff like Bastion of the Penitent, or solving the puzzle, doing the Spirit Veil pre-events, right, with the circles, or the Spirit Run, or finding all the plates, or Twisted Castle, right? Twisted Castle is fun, right? For the first time, whoa, this is crazy, man! Like, look how cool this is. I think the trouble with stuff like this is you do it for like the 50th week in a row, and you kind of think,
sure,
maybe this is not so much fun anymore.
You realize it's been almost 2 years. Season 3.
Yeah.
This is 100 weeks already.
100 weeks?
And I'm glad we can skip it.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's still kind of fun, I think. I mean, it was fun at the time. Maybe not so much anymore. But I think that's the trouble with adding permanent puzzles into content like this. But certainly, they are kind of cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about the map?
Ahead,
is that what you were about to say?
Yeah, I was going to say the map. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Like mine's.
So I haven't had a chance. Unfortunately, my week has been really, really busy, real life wise. So I haven't had a lot of time to play. But there's a couple of cool things that I've seen on Reddit and I've seen myself. One of them is I haven't done all the races and stuff. One of the races in the village, it's supposed to be a skimmer race. You can do it on whatever you want. But as you're doing the race, sharks like jump out of the water across the I just think that's really cool. The sharks jump out of the water. If they hit you, it stuns you for a couple of seconds or whatever. But that was really cool. There's the empty boat that people have been on that goes around in apparently a very big circle or whatever. The party boat that everybody's been hopping on, which I think is really funny. And somebody pointed this out, and then I went in game and watched it. But the sea turtles at night actually come up onto the beach, dig holes, plant their eggs, and then go back out to sea. And then after a little bit of time, the eggs hatch, and the little baby turtles all go out to sea.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little detail. Really
it's
cool.
Such a little thing, but it's freaking amazing.
Yeah, stuff like that is what really makes the world feel alive, right? And it's the little details like that, which is in fairness, when it comes to building maps, and I think we say this pretty much every time, I think, and it really has to be said again, in my opinion. When it comes to building maps and environments, ArenaNet is as simple as that, second to none. There is no game company, certainly in MMOs, that is as good at world building as ArenaNet. I don't think the maps are always god tier. Whether it's a raid, whether it's a story instance, right? Whether it's an open world map like this, no matter what, they're so very, very good at creating these environments and making them feel like an awesome online world, right? And I actually did play through this map a good amount. I'm pretty sure we beat most of the stuff on. I did all the bounties, we did all the meta event chains and stuff like that. It was fun. It was actually really good. It was really, really enjoyable. The one thing that is a bit annoying is that we got memed really hard trying to hunt down our last bounty.
Bounties?
Yeah, we needed one bounty, right? We needed one. Okay. And then we just got wrecked, and twice in a row we had the stupid Joko ambush. I mean, that was a bit annoying, but still, no, it was really good. I really enjoyed playing through this map actually with the lads, with the boys.
And a lot of people have been complaining about the Joko ambushes. Now, personally, I wouldn't mind if you go to fight a bounty and Joko ambushes you, but the bounty is still there. That's fine. I think that's cool. But the fact that the ambush happens and there's no boss and you just have to keep redoing it, try and get it, it's a bit annoying. It's a bit trolly.
It should get fixed though. It's not gonna last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I first played I played through the story, fantastic, and then I was on the map, and at first it felt a little less full compared to some of the other maps that came out recently. I don't know why. I think maybe because it's Inquest technology over half the map, and the Inquests are kind of sparse Spartan kind of technology, advanced kind of things. So half of the map is just lots of flat surfaces with jagged lines and stuff. So maybe that's why. But at least in those areas, it felt kind of not welcoming as a map. But overall, I don't know. The Omicron area is really nice. Yeah. Besides that, though, I don't know.
Well, we were talking earlier about the fact that the HUTs weren't needed for the story. I haven't done anything really in the new map, but the hearts. And I must say that the design of some of them was truly brilliant.
Yeah.
Especially the last one on the southeasternmost part of the map, I believe. The one with the magnets. That one was brilliant.
Yeah. Someone asked in chat about that actually, and I haven't actually played the hearts, so I confess I haven't played them because I dodge hearts because I do the hearts if I need to unlock a food or a cool item, right? But yeah, I need to go get that there's a free spectral walk, right? You can go back in time, so I need to go grab that actually 100%. All right, but tell us about that heart then. What do you have to do? What do you have to do in the magnet heart? What do you have to do?
There are some. Just how can I explain that? There are some
magnets.
magnets, basically. No, like it's more like a whirlpool effect. Like you get like turned around, sucked in more than just magneted to it. There are some like energy flying in the air you need to gather, or you can just break the machineries and then use magnets to propulse yourself like up or down or sideways. I know it's just the whole area was fun to play in, apart from just doing like the breaking around and gathering energy for the hearts. Just the part where you get to move freely using the magnet system like in midair. It's like riding a ley line, but you get to choose which point you're going to get pulled towards, more or less. I don't know how to really explain it. It's really... Yeah, like how do magnets, how do they work?
Suction!
Magnets, how do they work?
How do they work?
I can't explain it, but really, I had fun, and this is what matters. You know, it's like I got into this, I grabbed my apparatus to be able to interact with the magnets, and I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I just gonna gather the shit? Am I gonna break the machine? And I was like, okay, this is fun. I'm just flying around, and it's fun. Yeah. And that was all I really cared about in that very moment. They made a heart that wasn't about kill mobs, gather stuff, talk to that NPC with the stuff you have gathered or something, or just exchange some shit around. It was really just, you can have fun without completing it. And that's cool.
I think that's the overall arching word for this patch, is that it was a very fun patch.
Yeah.
And it is a very fun patch.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun playing through it. A lot of fun playing through this.
Yeah. I have a question though. Okay, so along the beach near the Olmacon village, there are gathering nodes for wood that give you foxfire clusters.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to bring foxfire clusters back as a thing that you require for stuff?
I kind of hope so. I mean, they're not really used for much except for
Mordred.
Maudry, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, why would they reintroduce it unless it's going to be used for something in the future?
I hope so. I mean, there's a couple of there's a couple of items that you collect, like let's say blade shards, for example. They have technically you can trade blade shards.
Oh,
I guess,
also used in new bag recipes. Apparently, that explains it.
Oh, I haven't done enough of those recipes, unfortunately. But if they're using it for new recipes, then that's fantastic. Like that's what I want to see. These items that you can collect that aren't really used a whole lot, I want to see them used in other recipes.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, there's new slot bags everywhere too. 24 you get from an achievement in the new path, and I think you could buy one off of a vendor too. I like it. New types of rewards. It's good.
You can go upwards to 32 slot bag. You can go upwards to the maximum by completing all of the collections one after the other. But people still complaining that it is annoying. Like I read that on the forum. It was
annoying
at work this week. And they were like, the whole collection part is annoying. I still have to go around and do stuff. And I was like, you're getting a 32 slot bag for free. It's free.
Yes.
It's free.
That means that's you know what that is? What it is, Sam? That's 12 more slots for me to waste in my inventory. Okay? You guys have all seen my inventory. You guys have seen it.
You need it.
Okay?
You know what? You know what you need? Press that, compact all, salvage all, and everything more often, and deposit all. Also, toss the stuff that you don't use. If you don't click it for a month, it's not worth it. You toss it away.
To be fair, he does carry like 7 sets of armor with him at all times.
Honestly, the main problem is ascending gear. No, it's ascending.
Get legendary armor. Get legendary armor.
What? Maybe I should.
Easy as that. Just get legendary armor. Well, Super easy, right?
Well, it is.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I could. It wouldn't be too.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love legendary armor, but Teapot's way is actually faster, just to equip the already stat selected item. Because legendary armor, swapping it is.
Yeah.
It's slow.
I just need new characters, and each character has a purpose. Like, this is my world versus world guy. This is my PvE guy, you know? That's how it needs to be, but
How many characters do you have on your account? Well, but then again, you also have like 20 accounts, right? So...
Well, yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna put stuff on my other accounts. So I'm not gonna put stuff on my other accounts.
Totally.
What? Yeah. Why?
It's called a mule for a reason. Just put all the trash on there, so it works.
I mean, then if I want to get the trash, it takes me ages to get it. Better off in a
That's
character.
an issue.
Yeah. Okay, go, Boots. Go.
I have a question. Okay, the new mastery.
Okay.
Have you guys used it yet?
It's
Yes.
worthless. It's like the stupidest mastery ever.
Okay,
It's your shield on mounts or something, right?
Yeah, it's you get your mount uses your HP instead of the mount's HP, so it's higher. And now, okay, what's interesting though is that when you look at the UI for the new mastery, this one and the last one are part of the Crystal Guardian or Crystal whatever. I think it's Crystal Guardian mastery. So in Path of Fire, you have your Springer, your Raptor mastery, your Glider, whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
What?
Flying Pancake.
Flying Pancake mastery, your Griffin mastery, and these are all mount masteries. Now the Crystal Guardian mastery, and on the top right of each of these masteries, you have a little etched picture of a bunny, an etched picture of a Springer, of a Raptor, etc. Now, the Crystal Guardian mastery, the description of each of the mastery things are your special connection to Aurene has allowed you to get volatile magic now, or Aurene has granted you volatile magic. Aurene, your special connection to Aurene has allowed you to now change your health with that of your mount. And in the top right corner is an etched picture of Aurene. Now, all of these other things are mounts. And they have little pictures of them.
Aurene mount confirmed.
Right. So what you're saying is Aurene mount confirmed. By the end,
I don't know.
The last episode.
By the end, maybe we get to ride.
She needs to grow a little bit more. For Nasura, she's fine, but my Char or a Norn standing next to her, a little bit small.
Yeah.
You bring Arene's back.
Well, she's the same size as a Griffin.
She's pretty big now, actually, dude.
Yeah, like,
She
did
looks
you
a little
see these
small.
arms? Like, no. Come on, she's like buffing up.
Yeah, dude.
She's a little bit small.
See all those breaths?
compared to
You
my
see that?
Char.
Okay, think about it. If you put a Nasura on it, you're fine. If you put a big as Char, it's not fine.
Right? Yeah. I don't know.
Just like the game is meant for humans. Come on,
WP
Hank.
is saying that we're gonna be able to like be through her eyes and like go around as a dragon.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool,
That
actually.
would be
a
cool.
dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. How to raise your Aurene? Let's go. Get to be her next.
The only
How
thing in this
to
patch
train
is
your
you
Aurene.
don't actually move, but you gain her sight.
Yeah. But she's done that before, hasn't she? Kind of,
No.
or just
Yeah,
what
didn't we
her mind was saying. Well,
Yeah, we saw what she saw though.
Visions, but not like
what
in
she
this
actually
episode.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we will be here. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But then why would some of her masteries that she give us affect our mounts?
Just because ArenaNet wants it to affect everything. Like,
Well, no, it's because you had your special bond with Aurene is giving you powers. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Aurene is helping you connect with the mount.
Well,
Because
maybe
we
it's
have
just
this weird
that-
bond going on anyway, because obviously, right?
Maybe the Aurene mount will be like actually you're warging into her, but it's because she doesn't allow you to ride on her back and she swallows you instead.
Wait, what for?
And then you warg into her, and when you dismount, she
Wait a minute.
regurgitates you.
Wait, so she vomits you out at your
Exactly.
destination.
That's right.
Well, maybe wouldn't it be more likely that you kind of teleport to her? Like you have the ability to you can instantly teleport to where the dragon is. Oh, maybe.
Don't you? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Don't you already have that little teleport figurine that brings you back to Aurene's lair in Orbit Basin?
The chamber, yeah.
Which is like the most useless item in the world because nobody ever wants to go there. Why would you want to go
Use
there?
it twice. Use it twice for the story. You don't waste money on the waypoint. It is worth it.
That's
I carry
true.
it with me.
5 silver, right there.
Cutting it, every bit is important. No, like sincerely, don't you use it in the don't you use it in the Path of Fire story at one point? Like, aren't you supposed to go back in there?
no.
I don't actually know because the expansions are separate, so you're not going back there.
You only go back in season 3. You go back. You could play
There you
ball with her, throw the ball, whatever.
Yeah, you can play
right.
a little
Yeah,
game.
dude,
It's good.
that's fine. That's fine. That's something.
She's not there anymore, right?
Doesn't she
if-
fly at the top or some crap?
If you use that item, then technically she's still there because it's stuck.
Did you go back in time? Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow, that's a pretty interesting item, though. It's a time travel device.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but not really though. I mean, not in the context of the story. Like in the context of the story, well, if you look at it like that, like using like a waypoint to another map as a time travel because all the maps are in their own slice, you can kind of time travel. All the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah,
we're going too deep.
Yeah, we're going very deep now.
We need to stop
it's
now.
very deep now. Very deep. What else is there on the new map? Is there a jumping puzzle? Is there a jumping puzzle on the new map? And if so, why not? Where are my jumping puzzles? Baby Rage.
It feels like that the Death Star would be the best place to have a jumping puzzle on the inside or something.
Mm.
It kind of points to it, right? It would make a lot of sense, but I'm just waiting for that fiendish... one of those fiendish jumping puzzles, man. Because I don't know, especially with Salt, right? Doing a jumping puzzle with Salt is hilarious. Yeah, it's really good. It's funny.
Potatoes needs to be careful.
He's got a point.
He's saying SAB World 3.
SAB World 3.
SAB's going to release in April. There's not going to be a World 3, and just like last year, everybody's going to riot on Reddit.
When's the last time we got a really good jumping puzzle?
Siren's Landing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Siren's Landing, that was a while ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was quite a while ago.
That was a very long time ago. Just enough time for somebody who usually does jumping puzzles to work on SAB, maybe.
I really don't think so.
That would be cool, though.
Don't get me wrong. I would love a World 3. I'm not against it. That would be amazing.
I actually wouldn't.
I
cannot do jumping puzzles.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not too confident.
Just because festivals don't see a whole lot of major updates, and Josh had said maybe this might be like a 2-year-old comment, so maybe it doesn't hold the same weight anymore, but he had said it would take a small team like 6 months to make World 3, and I just don't think that they're pulling resources off of Living World or elsewhere to make World 3 for a festival that lasts like 2 or 3 weeks.
Maybe there's a reason why we don't get raids and fractals as often as we should. Maybe the reason why is because they're developing World 3.
They're doing World 3, boys!
That's right, raids and fractals. The raid team is all on World 3.
Here's the thing, though, right?
But then again, I was expecting a fractal with this, this.
Yeah,
release.
I heard that there was going to be a fractal.
If we get World 3 and it's raid difficulty, then it's all worth it.
Raid difficulty jumping puzzle, man. I am uninstalling. I cannot do jumping puzzles. This is too hard.
That's not even tribulation mode.
there is no video of me doing tribulation mode. It's literally 10 minutes of clips of me dying in every spot you can die in. Perry made it.
Listen, just download Taco and follow the little dots. You don't need to worry about all that.
I'm gonna wait for TechIt to get me COVID. TechIt will have my back always. Always does.
We'll get our SAB mount pack. I kind of hope so.
Well, yeah, we definitely will.
Sounds
a little crazy.
That would be real cool.
I do think Wooden Potatoes had said like the little parade or whatever, like they'll make it a race. I do think there will be an SAB race just because they've been doing that with festivals lately.
Well,
so I think there'll be a race.
SAB?
SAB, the festivals have been seeing kind of update passes, right, as we go around, right? We do see some changes to them. So
there will be new things to earn for SAB. There'll probably be a new adventure / race or something like that, and some gem store stuff. But that's
we always get that. Come on, that's like the consistent part of every update. We get gem store stuff.
Besides SAB, what do you think the April Fool's joke is going to be this year?
Could be something with Joko, I guess. It could be flavor of the expansion. I'm pretty sure they can find something to do with it.
What was the joke last
everyone
time?
becomes an
Everybody's Joko for a day. People hate being turned into something for a day. I think it's hilarious, but a lot of people not too happy, even though it's only for 24 hours.
Aviator Cap and Bubblehead. These were the two we got, right?
Yeah.
Maybe all your characters every 3 minutes have to say praise Joko.
I don't think did they do anything last year?
Yeah, what did happen last year?
I'm not sure they did anything last year.
Wait, I'm going to look it up on the internet. Let's see what happened last year.
2017.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
2016, nothing.
Yes.
2015, aviator cap. 2014, bobblehead. 2013, nothing.
I mean, we got
SAB.
SAB back, but yeah.
Like SAB isn't really an April's Fool. Like it is content. It's good content.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe I can get my third infusion at last. And my red weapons.
Maybe the people complaining like
yeah, because we didn't like it. They actually
heard them.
You can kind of get it. Can you kind of get it? Maybe. Like I have some sympathy for that, I guess. So you don't want arena. I mean, couldn't you disable it though? Like you could disable all these jokes anyway.
Yeah, you just turn the date of the computer back to another day. No, you just turn the date to another day because it's scheduled to work on April 4. Like,
so on your computer.
I think you could do that on the first April Fool update. If you just change the date on your computer, it like
a week before the patch, if they had already like pre-patched it, you think if we turn our date ahead to April 1st, we'll preview the April Fool's joke?
It works on their server time. It doesn't work on your computer.
Yeah.
Why would it work on? Yeah. Why would it?
No,
work?
Someone said that on Reddit though, like 2 years ago. I remember this.
Was it on April 1st?
Yeah.
I'm out. That's such an easy victim for this.
Oh, brother.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, boy. Very nice.
Just don't prank me on April 1st, because I'll actually believe it.
Yeah.
Don't prank me, bro. Oh, boy. Okay, so what else about this patch? I mean, it's hard to talk too much about something that's so good, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we can't flame it. We can't just pick it apart and shit on it. This feels bad.
And I see something in the chat that we could talk about. Timeout for all the win traders.
The win traders and the hackers, boys. We are, of course, in win trade week, as it's being referred to by the community, as everyone with the hidden win traded rating is about to come out of the woodwork, and rank 1 will once again go to the win traders, boys. Will ArenaNet do anything? I have no idea.
No.
Right now, guys, this doesn't... Well, actually, no, I can't even talk about this. I don't even know. But right now, there is a post on the subreddit, okay, talking about this. Will ArenaNet respond? Who knows? I have no fucking clue.
I don't think so.
But yeah, don't win trade, guys. It's really shitty. Don't do it. And they should get banned. Although it is probably pretty difficult to... Actually, it's probably pretty easy to prove because it's like they're all in the same guild and they just throw the games at AFK. Or DC.
They also like to talk
rating.
and brag about it a lot, so it might not be that difficult to prove.
Pretty easy to grab them, I think.
Oh, it sucks. You know, it's really a shame. But it's been going on for a while. It's been going on for a while in like ebbs and flows, right? Like start of the season, I heard it was bad, then it was fine. Now it's back again. I don't know.
It's not good.
Yeah.
No.
Well, but that's how it goes. I know it would be really nice to get at least a response on this with regards to ArenaNet. I mean, obviously this is a serious problem. It is, well, is it really ruining the game? I mean, maybe.
Yes.
Is it though? Is it though?
Yes.
Because is it? How many people?
It definitely discourages people from playing PvP.
Yeah, like if you put so much effort during the season, and at the end of it you're like, oh, I am in top 200, I'm gonna get a title, something's gonna happen, I'm gonna get a reward, this is good, I am on the leaderboard. Like you think this, you're happy with it, and then suddenly, in the last 5 hours before the end of the season, people pop up above you, and then you find yourself like out of the 250. You're just out of it, and you're like, all the effort. What?
Can you do that again? The popping up.
Like all the effort you put into it just ends. It's like it's as if you would say like you put so much effort into being being good at a game mode, and then someone invalidates it by just going low effort and getting above you. And this is exactly the case. You get your achievement removed by people who just cheated the system. And that's bad. And that's not how you make people happy. That's not how you make them want to play the game. And that's exactly how you bleed game population. Because the dude who is being beaten by the win trader, he's going to be like, why would I even try next season?
The top voted comment on that thread is Sind saying that I think that the only solution at the moment
is to
right now
remove
is just
all rewards.
remove all rewards from PvP.
Oh yeah, that'll
Because then there would be no reason.
that'll go over well.
Then no one's gonna win trade.
Because there's
True.
nothing to win.
There's no rewards.
Nobody's gonna play PvP.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
No.
And-
Yeah.
It's a decent idea though, but then they could like put more rewards into the monthly ATs or something, or even the regular ATs, so that more people get involved in them as an opposite.
That's always a good idea.
Yeah, because like the dude who plays his 3 games a day to try and get to the top 250 at the end of the season, he could also just be playing the ATs and put his effort towards practice and that works out, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely for doing that.
If
Like
you
anything
remove
to
PvP
encourage more
entirely,
people.
then you can't win trade.
Yeah. Just remove. Yeah. Think about it. Like if they
Just delete the servers. People can't cheat anymore if you don't have
That's
servers.
right.
Exactly. Yeah, if you
Done.
remove the game mode, if you disable PvP, like there's no win trading now. Yeah, job done. That's it.
Feels bad.
Yeah. I mean, or they just make it only 1v1. Wait, actually, no, you could win trade in 1v1. Fuck. Okay.
But then the only competitive PvP left would be Mystic builds and raid tournaments, right?
Yes.
That's
Perfect.
right. So what's happening with that?
Competitive PvP in PvE is all about one thing: running into your squad with a bomb at Sabetha. That's PvP.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
If you remove the game, so if they turn off Guild Wars 2 servers, they won't have any hackers anymore. Good. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
it
PvP
kinda
is
feels
all about
bad.
PvPing your own team. It's a pretty big deal, guys. Like in PvE, you got to kill your own team all the time, right? It's good.
So hold on a second. When is the tournament?
The raid tournament?
Yeah.
It's the 7th and the 8th of April.
Of
1
April.
week after the jokes.
That's soon.
Yeah.
And I heard that QT's joining.
Yeah, QT is back.
Better than ever.
They better practice. Just
They're
saying.
What do you
already
mean?
doing it.
They don't need to practice.
Yeah,
You can
they
see them
probably do.
in raids. You can see them. Just add them to your friend list. Check on them.
Yeah.
They're practicing this week today. We need to do this wing as well.
Yeah.
So what do you already have all the rules figured out?
All the rules? Yeah, I posted the rules ages ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't get to
It's
see
on the
it.
website.
What is the rules?
The rules are the same 8-man thing as last time. So you need an 8 average, right? Well, yeah, an 8 average players, right? So you have to 8-man
Per
everything.
encounter.
Per encounter, right?
Per
Like,
encounter.
so you
So
know you
wings where you have 4 encounters, you get 8 per.
Yeah.
Which wings are you doing?
all of them.
All of them.
Yes.
So like if there's 4 raid bosses, yeah, I guess that would work. Still.
But you
yeah.
still, you just have to,
all day.
you still have to
Is
low
it-
man, right?
Is it per wing that you have to do an average of 8 or overall?
what over the whole? No, it's per wing, right? So it's a separate. They're all little islands, right? So. Yeah, but should we get the shovels? Yeah, for digging a hole, the real winners. But yeah, we've got an additional rule this time there. So after every encounter, you have to ditch some specializations that you can't use. So suppose you beat Veil Guardian and you had Weavers, Druids, Warriors, and Mesmers. You have to get rid of 3 of those. You can't use them for the rest of the raid wing.
So basically, you want to have very weird comps, like always having like some outlier that you can get rid of, because you're gonna want to protect your Druid and Chrono. You're gonna want to keep these, so you're just gonna run some weird stuff to make up.
What about?
So
what
obviously,
about you
base
do what-
Guardian, like base Guardians with the bug right now with the Virtues, we're good. It's top
You could
DPS.
do.
Let's go.
You could do what D&T did on Veil Guardian. Did you see that video?
Scourge, yeah.
Well, you probably want Necro.
The Scourge,
yeah.
like
Necro everywhere. Necro on
If you want
every
it, that's
single
better.
boss, dude. Yeah,
but
on Sab.
you sort of want it on Sab, yeah.
Yeah. You kind of want it everywhere, though, dude. Necro, OP as fuck, boys. All right.
The sub 2 minute VG was.
Yes, that's some pretty hype stuff. I mean, guess what, guys? Oh yeah, and also, you know what? Let's talk about some accomplishments that we have done in Salt, guys. We have now beaten Wing 5 bosses with only Necros. Okay, we did Doom with 10 Necros, and we did Soulless Horror with 10 Necros.
Is that an
How are you
accomplishment,
gonna
or is
be-
just that easy?
What?
Is that just easy, or is that actually an accomplishment? Because doesn't Macro make things really easy?
Sort
Well,
of.
we
It's
no,
like
no,
the
I mean,
denial
no,
of
I mean,
mechanics. It denies
so
mechanics.
no, the reason I decided to do this was because of the constant
Epi nerf
complaining.
incoming.
No, it's because of the constant complaining that Necro is bad. It's like, oh, Necro's so bad, Necro's so bad. So like, well, it turns out you can actually do a pretty decent kill, actually. And do you know what's really funny? You know our Soulless Horror kill? We were actually in about the 80th percentile on radar with 10 Necros.
But you also killed bosses with all Tempests.
Healing
as well.
Tempest, yes.
Healing Tempests, so...
But that took like 40 minutes. That's not a good kill. But no, what I'm saying...
It's not a strat for the raid
the point is that these little crybabies, they always say, oh, Necro doesn't do any DPS, Necro damage is so bad. Well, it turns out that, you know, on Soulless Horror, we were... Even with... Okay, and this is our comp. This is how weird our comp was, okay? We had 2 Minstrel tank Necros, 2 Apothecary heal Necros, then 6 Viper Necros, okay? So, and even with all of that, like a really weird comp, we still had higher than average DPS on Soulless Horror.
When they go to look... I seen your DPS chart. When they go to look at the DPS chart and they see Teapot's doing no DPS, I mean...
Well, I was Minstrel tank, Inks. Come on, buddy. Come on.
There ain't no excuse
Necro does
for
no
your gameplay.
DPS.
There ain't no excuse.
Teapot has proved it.
Yeah, kick Teapot from the guild.
Yeah.
When I analyze your logs, Teapot, I can see a clear lack of motivation in your gameplay, and I can definitely pinpoint
I was rezzing
that
everyone,
Scourge is bad.
Yeah.
You needed to raise people. That means that
crazy.
Scourge cannot survive. The class that is all about survivability, it cannot survive. This is bad.
How did WP? Let me talk about the barrier, my friend. Okay. We actually had about 90% scholar uptime on everyone during that.
Hey.
Yeah.
And still you had downs.
Our lowest... No, we had 1 down. We had 1 down. 1 down. And 1 death. Some guy got hit by a wall, unfortunately. We had so much barrier. We pretty much had permanent 10k barrier on everyone. And yeah, so even on Soulless Horror, we had insane scholar uptime. To the point where I think our lowest scholar uptime was about 75% or something like that. And Orophia, one of our heal Necros, had literally 100% scholar uptime.
Very nice.
That's disgusting. You don't have any other words. That's disgusting.
And we were just spamming barrier. We had 10 Necros just
healing.
mashing barrier constantly over everyone. Seriously, if you have Minstrel Scourge, it puts out so much barrier. It is unreal. Like, we had so much barrier on 10 people because it's 10 targets because we have big shade. It's absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It was beautiful.
Yeah, so you had people who never got below 5% health. 5% or 10%
Never,
within their max health.
Below 90%, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
On quite a high pressure fight as well. Bear in mind, right? Quite a lot of damage in that fight. But yeah, that actually, yeah, and obviously with the the DNT stuff, that's kind of a huge mega meme as well. But I will be making a video shortly explaining that Necro is actually the most overpowered, probably the most overpowered class in PvE right now. And yeah, I don't know why people didn't believe me. There's a clip of me that got posted to Reddit, and they said, "Oh, no, I wouldn't say it's the most overpowered." You guys are fucking wrong. All of you. We're all wrong. Necro is probably, well, I think, it's probably the most broken class in PvE. Just because of how cheesy it is. And it's fucking hilarious.
Can we do that again? Can we do that again? 9 Necros this time, though, with barrier. And then 1 Ellie with the, as a Condi class with the shield that gets extra Condi and damage. Yeah, when you have barrier. 100% barrier uptime. That's going to be some sweet deeps.
Yeah. How was the healing? I mean, the healing was fine. The healing was insane. I don't know.
You don't even need a healing if you don't.
We had barrier, yeah.
Barrier.
We the amount of barrier we put out was something like 3.5 million barrier. It oh man, that was good. It was fucking hilarious, boys. But yeah, and the healing was fine as well because we had blood necros as well, so we had wells of blood transfusions and stuff like that. And I was tanking with dagger for easy lifesteals. Oh, it was beautiful. Beautiful gameplay. And there's the epi. And then the epi bounces, 10 epi bounces. Because we have our minstrel necros bouncing the epis, just putting the guys, and everyone else who has condition damage puts it back. Ooh. Beautiful. Anyway, necro's sick. There we go. Easy peasy. Anyway, you know what? You know what we should talk about? seeing as we're not talking about necros anymore. Black Lion keys, okay? Black Lion keys. There's loads to, and this can kind of segue into the economy actually, because we have Sam, Guild Wars 2's resident economist. But dude, Black Lion keys are dank. They have brought back the tormented skins, and I opened 100 of them. I bought 50, and I was fortunate enough that people gave me 50 as well. Very, very kind, very kind viewerinos I have indeed. But it was awesome, and I got saying like 10 rares or something, or 10 uncommons or whatever. Like I got a bunch of tormented skins. I was very lucky. I was very lucky, and I got 2. Yeah, oh, dude, I was so insane lucky, man. Oh my god, I can't even describe how lucky I was, man. I got so many skins, and I got the scythe skin from a wardrobe unlock, and then I got 2 harvesting nodes. Oh, and then guess what, guys? You guys didn't see this because this was off stream, okay, boys? But I actually had some gems left over from an alt account, right, lads? And I gifted myself 5 Black Lion keys. I open them on main. I get another harvesting node. So in 105 keys, I got 3 harvesting nodes. That's what I do, okay? That's how we do it. That's streamer luck. I'm rigged.
So that's like not representative. That's not representative.
That's representative. Buy Black Lion keys, guys. Fuel the next expansion, guys. Pay for the next expansion, guys. And also look at the demand on Black Lion keys. Go on the trading post. What do you see? Black Lion chest, 8 silver. Okay.
It's up.
It's because of how good Black Lion keys are right now.
Totally is.
It's
I remember when
Sam
it was 2
fucking market manipulating, dude.
Nope. These accusations are bad. I will not talk unless my lawyer is present.
You are a market manipulator, Sam, and you know it. Okay.
He doesn't have to answer. I'm his lawyer.
Fine,
I'm present now.
Okay, I have my lawyer, guys.
Stop talking, Sam. Stop talking, Sam. I'll handle this. Teapot, he doesn't have to answer your questions. This is not an interrogation here.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's true. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, there is a new Black Lion key that it's kind of cool, I guess. Is there anything new in them? Not really, right?
Yes, the minis are new.
Yeah, the mini branded mounts.
Oh yeah, I got that one actually. Yeah, I got those minis.
And they look good, mate.
There's a new tonic. There's a new branded tonic for those who care about tonics. Now, if they ever add a tonics tab, those things will be a lot more valuable to people, a lot more desirable. And they also revamped the statuettes. Have a number of changes in it. What you can buy with statuettes as well.
You got new items on there, basically.
Yeah.
What do they do to the statuettes? What's in the statuettes now?
So they rotated some of the exclusives.
Yeah. Well, okay. So in the statuettes, they added a new category where there's, I don't know if it's every glider, but there's a lot of different gliders in the statuettes you can now buy. So like Soul River gliders in there, for example, for 25 statuettes. It's actually not too bad of a deal.
Electromagnetic descender and ascenders are there.
Yeah, the bubble glider. There's a number of them. The other thing is the 3 flame armors.
Yeah, that is very good.
They used to be the tier 3 ones, and then people threw a fit because of the light armor, and they made them whatever. So those 3 armors are in there as well. I think they changed up a couple of the unique items that's available right now as well.
They also, with this patch, unleashed a lower priced and also available silver-fed Salvage-O-Matic.
Yep.
And
sale going on.
It's a sale on it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I also got the branded mounts, which are actually really nice. I purchased mounts.
Wow.
My wife did as well.
Oh man.
She took all of the money she earned from envelope month. What the hell is it called? Super New Year? No.
Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Super New Year is pretty dang
Super New Year.
I'll keep that.
Super New Year.
Anyway, she took all of her gold from that, converted it, and she bought the mounts that she wanted.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Great dye channels, really nice glow effects on them. They're good. They're good, those guys.
I'm very tempted, but
do it.
No.
Do it.
You must resist us. No, you must resist. You must stay with me. You will not spend your hard-earned money on mounts.
Saving.
Yes, you gotta be strong, X. Also, can't you get mount skins from the statuette, actually? Like, I believe you can get the mount skins.
Minis.
Why would you use the statuettes on anything but Black Lion boosters?
I don't know. The answer is you wouldn't.
True.
The answer is you wouldn't.
That's right.
I certainly would, because I have more than I need as it is. But
I only have 10 left.
Only 10 Black Lion boosters? I have something like 500 statuettes or something. Is that? Oh my god, I have too many of those now.
How much? Because 30 minutes each, is it?
Yeah, it's 30 minutes. It's
so like 250 hours. You're gonna probably not need them for a while.
Well, the thing is, I guess, but it's not that long. It's not long enough, dude.
Is that because you bought 500 keys?
I bought a lot of keys. Don't talk about it. But it's just don't even fucking go there, dude.
And I seen somebody say earlier like 100 keys and no permanent contracts. The permanent contracts are really rare. I've never seen one in all the years that I've been opening Black Lion chests. I don't open 100 at a time. Like usually my own contribution is maybe 25 when these things come around, maybe. And but I mean I've opened hundreds over the years and I've never seen one.
I think I opened a few thousand chests and I got only 2.
Ooh.
I've never got
You've
one.
opened a few thousand chests.
Yeah,
I've opened a few thousand chests, yeah.
Sam's a market manipulator. You can just buy it with gold, dude.
No, like, it's not that I market manipulate to buy this. It's just, no, like, over the years, I've bought a lot of them. Because it's fun. It's RNG, and I enjoy it. And I mean, it's only like 600 gold.
Sam, as your lawyer, I have to advise you to give me some of your gold, please.
As payment.
If you get me out of this, I'll pay you fees.
Yeah.
Get me out.
You got the repair, dude.
Interrogation.
The repair kit is value, Iron Egg. The repair kit is value, dude. I've got that, and it's really you won't be able to live without it once you have it, my friend. Seriously.
Yeah, I would. The repair canister is cool.
The repair canister is good.
What do you guys? Switching topics a bit, but what do you think? Repair canisters make me think of dying a lot in fractals. What do you think about the fractal changes?
Oh boy, yeah, we need to talk about that.
The instabilities.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
Can I start by saying that it was the worst idea ever? Like, and this actually stems from an issue that we've seen in the past. Like, we've had a lot of economy issues, and we have a lot of other issues that come from that. There is currently, I believe, no data analysts at ArenaNet. Like, since John Smith left, there is nobody who does this. And I don't think it takes a lot of effort to look at the metrics and see that some fractals are not being run. Like, you look at the LFG, and I'm pretty sure it's the same in the game. People don't run fractals where there is last laugh. People dodge afflicted. People dodge that shit. People don't want to do it. And then if you are a dev and you take these instabilities and you put them on the fractals that everyone runs, for example, 100 CM, this is a bad idea, a very bad one.
I don't know.
What if they got?
Is it though?
I don't know if it's a bad idea.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It was fine, honestly. I don't think it was.
As an idea, it's not that bad because you're what you're saying is very true, and I think that's why they made that. Like the idea was that it randomly kind of gets assigned. Okay. Well, that's why, because they see these fractals that don't get played because of the instabilities, and it's not because they're bad fractals, it's because of the instability. So if you change up what the instabilities are each day, then different fractals are going to be played each day. And if people really want to play 100 CM, which is rewarding, and it's on a bad instability, it's interesting for them now because everybody hates playing on that instability, so it's going to be really hard to do it for that one day.
Or do they just skip that day because they don't feel like putting up with it?
They might, and they'll do different fractals at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
It really wasn't. I don't think it's that bad. I think I've done 2 sets of fractals, and I guess there were some like the worst possible ones as well. We had the Toxic Trail Last Laugh 99 CM or something, like really horrible, but it really wasn't that bad. It was fine.
I mean, the good news is that Ben had said.
Okay.
Ben had said that if they get this kind of feedback, like these things are really terrible together, or people just aren't playing them for whatever reason, he did say that they can whitelist them on and off so that the combination doesn't happen again. So maybe there's like
for example,
you might have to grin and bear the terribleness to begin with, but then maybe it won't. Maybe they can do something so it doesn't happen in the future.
Okay, let's say you get 100 cm or the Oasis fractal. You get one of these where you have a lot of ads. Like I'm thinking the Al-Sharif fight in 100 cm. You get their Toxic Trail, Last Laugh, Afflicted. Dude, I don't play it. I don't.
Would that not?
You have.
Well, come on.
Would that not be
It's
the
still,
most
it's
epic?
still, it's fractals, man. It's fractals. It's trivial. It's just trivial content at the end of the day, dude.
Sounds
Just
like
because
German.
just because you can epi them doesn't mean that I will, Teapot.
Well, you don't even have to epi them. Just like with Ellie, you just like fucking pull stuff together and insta cleave it.
Yeah,
like stuff
yeah,
dies
you
instantly in fractals, dude. Like stuff dies instantly. It is
Yeah,
just fractals
well,
at the end of the day, right?
People die instantly in fractals as well when you have that combination. Like imagine it for a second. You have an ad. Okay, you kill it. It knocks you back. Everywhere it moves, it has an AoE, and every time you step in that AoE, you get conditions. This is so bad. This is cancerous. I don't want this. Like even the Great Pestilence of Palawa Joko sounds like a charm compared to this.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Wow.
It's fine.
Wow.
Like he's trying to make it sound like it's bad, but
Sounds
the
like-
dude never stepped in fractals. Like
It
Palawa Joko
sounds
in the
like-
fractals, dead.
It sounds like you're coming from a point of view of someone who likes to get into fractals, get your dailies, and get out, right?
Exactly. I'm
But-
not gonna lie. I pug them.
ArenaNet
I
doesn't
pug
want
them
that.
for fun.
ArenaNet doesn't
I
want
pug them
that.
for fun. I get into pugs that usually don't have KP requirements. I try to do the fractal because it's fun. But if they add all of these like small elements that are gonna make it harder for the people that are pugging, at one point it won't be fun anymore.
I think in a pug though, it's not as punishing because I mean, if you encounter stuff like Necro, like I think Necro just makes everything really really easy. You know? Do you think?
Sort of.
I guess
But I
it's
don't
really not so
join
bad.
necro energies.
Look, I'm coming from a place where I probably shouldn't talk about this because I don't do T4 fractals every day. In fact, I don't do them at all, really. So like my opinion shouldn't matter very much. But my opinion is that it kind of just makes sense to do it that way because number one, flavor-wise, because they are fractals and they are unstable and instabilities should be unstable as well and should not always be on the fixed same things every single time, flavor-wise. Secondly, it would make people play different fractals more often, which is nice. And it's just, it probably increases the difficulty of certain fractals that you really want to play sometimes, which could be good for people who want like a real challenge.
I mean, I just do whatever the dailies are. So some days it's going to be, I guess, fun, and some days it's going to be maybe not so fun.
Yeah. So maybe
depending on what pops up.
That point, it does make you make a good point because if there's already dailies, the dailies are there to make people play different fractals already, and it interferes with this new rotation or whatever of fractal instabilities because it's you're encouraged to play different fractals because of the dailies, and then you're discouraged by the instabilities to play those dailies. So they kind of smash up against each other in a bad way.
I don't know.
I agree with.
I think Teapot's problem is he needs to just solo pug for like 2 months straight. And, and then let's come back to the topic.
I would actually seriously say that pugging fractals is literally worse than pugging raids. Like, I'm not even joking, dude. That's something that
this man up there, he's right.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, fuck pugging fractals, dude. I mean, I don't know. Why would anyone put themselves through that? I don't know.
I mean, I do it all the time. Not every day, but anytime I'm streaming, I'm usually pugging fractals.
I mean, I've been in
for
some
the
pretty
most
good
part,
frag groups
it doesn't bother me, but I'm also not completing my dailies in 45 minutes. It takes like maybe 2 hours to get all the fractals, and that's not even doing the CMs. So, I guess it depends how much you really enjoy fractals. I honestly don't mind them, but I don't know that I love RNG instabilities either.
I don't genuinely enjoy fractals per se. I enjoy doing some of the encounters in them because I found them fun, but not the entirety of the fractal usually. So if I'm gonna have to like deal with instabilities on events that are not fun of within the fractals, then It just at one point it undermines the motivation a tad too much. I just don't wanna.
For this, I'm looking forward to that crazy scenario that you're saying where you have the worst combination of instabilities on the worst fractal for it, and seeing videos of people pulling it off would be really fun to see, and just people throwing ideas at it, throwing themselves at it, and try to make it work. It would be interesting. It makes, it creates, not often, but it'll create moments of extreme difficulty that people have to overcome, which is interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe I do speak from a serious position of privilege here, but I kind of I just view every instability as very cheesable, right? Like even with a very squishy comp. Like I don't know, just if there's like last laugh round, then just like stack a bunch of stability up, and I don't know. You've got Harrier Druid. Like dying with Harrier Druid's kind of difficult. I mean, I don't know. Just what? I mean, everything dies instantly anyway. I don't think the new system is bad at all, honestly, and it adds flavor. Does it? And there were some comments about it. Does it make it worse or better? And honestly, I don't even know. I don't know.
Sometimes makes it better. Sometimes makes it worse.
I don't know. I just don't know, honestly. I honestly don't know what to make of it. To me, it's not even something I even noticed, and I've only done it like a few times pretty casually. I wasn't doing any tryharding. Like honestly, the people who are most affected by this, in my opinion, are actually just like the people who are really tryhard going for records. Like now it's really annoying because you have to agree on what instabilities to do it on. I don't see it as affecting like the general population that much, honestly. I think it sounds fun.
So I guess the question comes down to the individual person on whether they like RNG aspects in that content, or do they like having it be a set thing and they know what to expect and how to experience that. I guess it depends whether you like, whether you as a person likes a random challenge being thrown at you in a fractal you're familiar with, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, it does kind of also like differentiate, besides the 5 versus 10 man, it kind of differentiates raids from fractals in a way, because raids are the same every single time you go in, but now fractals might not be. It adds a little flavor.
When it comes to RNG and fractals, I preferred having random fractals over random instabilities in fractals, if you see what I mean.
So here's a good question.
Like the old system was more fun to me.
What if they did a system where the instabilities are set for every level, every fractal, like it used to be? But the daily tier 4s, it would just be 3 random tier 4s. You don't know what they're going to be.
Isn't that
how it is
before?
As it was?
I don't remember what the old system was, but like currently you can go and you can see, okay, it's Volcano, Mitrin, whatever the new one is called. Let's just say Shattered Observatory. But instead of seeing that, you just queue up for the tier 4 daily, and it gives you a random daily.
I see.
Although I guess thinking back, I guess that was the old system, and people just kept re-rolling until.
That was more or less the old system, and you just rolled for Swamp. That's the first one.
Yeah.
And you prayed that as a boss you got a kill.
And that didn't really work either, so I guess.
It was fun. I mean, it was fine. I had fun in that system. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, people would just re-roll. Benji's right. They did. Okay,
you only.
People always
the last 2 minutes of this conversation. Let's go back.
But no, it's, stuff like this always gets abused. Though, like they'd have to make it so you can't re-roll it, right? I don't know.
Right.
They'd have to try and enforce some way of doing that, because otherwise it's going to get abused. But I don't know. Like, it's an interesting question. Like, should they just remove the instabilities? That is a legitimate suggestion. I think you.
Would they just be even easier then, though?
Well, in my opinion, like they barely matter anyway. Like the only one that's relevant.
They barely matter.
No, no, seriously, the only one that really matters is the boon one, right? And that means you just take a Spellbreaker, or you take a a Mesmer with Disenchanter or something. Do you even need it? Like, did they just remove instabilities? Because I don't know. Certainly for me, they don't really add anything. They add nothing, pretty much. In fact, to be quite honest with you, even the ones like social awkwardness pretty much get ignored if you do it in any kind of relatively organized system, right? And it certainly gets ignored in pugs. Like pugs just stand on top of each other and kill each other. Dude, simple as that. Right?
You know what I'd like as an instability?
What?
I would like you enter as your 5-man group or whatever. And the instability is at the beginning of the fractal, and for the rest of the fractal, you are randomly assigned one of your other party members as the person you control.
Wait, what? What?
Wait, no. That'd be fucked up.
What?
That'd be fucked up.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
I'm playing Teapot and he's playing Inks.
MMO
right.
Teapot.
And Teapot is now a ranger, and you're now a Scourge or whatever, or a Mesmer, and you have to
I'm
do the
playing some
rolls.
terrible build, and Teapot's triggered that he has to deal with these terrible skills and can't do anything.
Yep. Yep.
That's pretty dang. But it would really be too hard.
I don't know about this
It would be too hard
one.
to code, or I guess they would just like people recruiting for these fractals would be just like play these exact builds that can work in all encounters. You know, like not optimized for each, but that it will work everywhere.
Okay, all right. People are saying I'm talking about this from a non-pug perspective, and whilst that is true, all right, okay. So Sam and Inks, you guys pug fractals. How are the instabilities even relevant?
It makes the okay. Go first, Inks.
It depends which instabilities they are. Some of them are just people don't really deal with them properly. What are the ones called Vindicators or something?
Oh god, now that one is at Gibbet AIDS.
There are some times where there's just like 6 Vindicators running around causing havoc, and it gets out of control very quickly.
I'll give you that. Like, that one is a bit AIDS. I will give you that. 100%.
So there's a couple of them. Social awkwardness. Like I play a druid, so I just heal the party through it, but they just ignore the fact that social awkwardness exists and just stand next to each other and kill one another, basically.
I'm gonna follow Inks on that. Pugs tend to ignore instabilities, tend to ignore the mechanics, tend to ignore the stuff that's happening. Like today, I pugged 100 CM with Last Laugh, and it was a prime example of this. So 100 CM, we got to 40%. We get the Chaos Fractal Land Boss, the Char, and we get the small golems around it, the JT12s, I think that's the name. And then we kill it, we get to the next anomaly, kill the anomaly, one dude has to get into the bubble. Classic, you know, everything's fine to that point. And then a JT12 calmly walks up to our guy, and the JT12, he was low on health. And our dude kills the JT12. Last Laugh. Our dude gets bumped out of the bubble, we wipe.
Well, I mean, come on, that's a bit of a weird meme, though. I don't know. Like, that's
but it's the truth. It happens. It happens in tier 4 with bugs. People don't look at it. So I'm saying that the random instabilities are just adding difficulty to what really shouldn't have.
Yeah,
That was the shittiest wipe of my day. And I was saying a lot. That was garbage.
I mean, sure, but it's still just not. It just doesn't seem to be, even in pug groups. It just doesn't seem that relevant. It doesn't seem to add anything or add much difficulty, really. Like, no matter what the instability.
50 KP group, and I weep.
Well, come on, man. Come on, Kilbrus me. Dude, have you seen this shit? Like, you can go in like 600 LI groups in raids and have people do about 5k DPS. Like, kill proof means nothing in this game. Like, come on. There are some serious boosted monkeys in this game, okay?
Talk for yourself, mate. I'm trying.
Well, no, I'm not saying you're boosted. I'm just saying
about,
I'm not saying you're boosted. I'm just saying that within this game, there's a copious amount of boosted monkeys.
I'm getting corrected about Vindicators were recently updated, but the point that I'm just trying to get across is that they don't really pay attention to or deal with the instabilities themselves. They kind of just ignore it and play right through it if they can, until they hit a brick wall because the instability is just owning them.
Well, what instability owns people? Like, what like, I don't know. Like, which one's going to get you?
Well, Sam just told you about Last Laugh and how that goes.
Yeah, Last Laugh is annoying. It's definitely annoying, but and I think Last Laugh is a problem because people have never had to play with it. You don't ever really experience it in where the way the rotation is, right? Like, you don't see it. But I think that you can play around it. You just basically just bring stability and you can just shut it down. If your Druid and your Mesmer are playing correctly, simple. Or if you have a Guardian, you can cheese it pretty hard, honestly. I don't think it's that bad. It's annoying. Don't get me wrong. It is very annoying. But I think when
Flux Bomb is a good one, yeah. Flux Bomb, people constantly blow each other up.
You're not going to wipe to a Flux Bomb, though.
No, you're not going to wipe to it, but it's an annoyance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think placed at the wrong time, it affects the group quite a bit, right? I don't know.
Is the Griffin back to normal?
Somebody said it was.
That was me, because I thought I found it. I thought it was, but I'm not so sure anymore. I think it is.
I don't think I use the Griffin the way you guys use the Griffin, so it never bothered me.
What do you do?
I never noticed. Well, no, I mean, I never noticed a difference with the Griffin to begin with, but.
Okay. Yeah, no, it feels like I have been able to break out of the dive early, but there have been times that I've been stuck into it at the end too, so I'm not so sure.
So wait, what actually went wrong with the Griffin? Because I never actually noticed something. Because there were loads of people complaining about it. People, my boys in chat in my Twitch chat were complaining about this as well. And I'm actually not sure what actually changed.
A couple of patches ago, they bug fixed and said that now you were supposed to not be able to, but you basically cancel your dive early and pull out of it really fast, like a wing flap dive. And so since then, it's always been, if you're going to dive and you're going to wing flap while you're diving, you are going to be going straight down until you hit the ground, basically, because it's a long animation for you before you could really pull out, like cancel the animation. You can't cancel the animation. So
so I was never canceling it before, so I guess it's what didn't affect me.
Yeah, maybe, but so that it felt really bad because a lot of people used to flap and pull out really quickly, and they got to fly really fast because of it. But then you couldn't, and now I don't know. It's weird. It feels like you still can't. If you do a full flap, you can't pull out until much lower down now.
Until the flap.
But I feel like you could pull out like at the beginning of a flap and still get some of the effects of a flap now. It's hard to say. It just feels like the Griffin's a bit better than it was after the last patch. But yeah, maybe they didn't do anything. Maybe it's just like a sugar pill that I'm taking.
I got my Griffin like 2 weeks ago or something, so I can't even comment on
what?
Wow.
What do you mean?
Are you a casual gamer?
Dude, I hate open world.
Are you a casual gamer?
Hate it. I only got it because my guildie said you need to get it now.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I know. I think.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. You know.
Yeah. Well, fair enough.
I kept asking for portals my whole life, or jumping with my my rabbit.
I mean, honestly, the rabbit can get you to almost all places anyway.
It's true. It's true.
Rabbit is OP. My worst nightmare confirmed. Stupid rabbit.
I'll tell you what, boys. Tell you what. Let's move on to another topic that Sam can tell us about. Okay, and that is the economy of the game. Okay.
Oh.
How I want. Okay, because you know what we haven't had this tea time, guys. Roasting. Okay. And that's why we're going to let Sam roast the economy of the game. Sam will roast. He's going to roast hard, and he's going to roast hard. Okay? That's what's going to happen here. Sam, drop it. Flame the game.
Come on. I was supposed to be a nice... This update wasn't that bad, though, on the economy side. So I kind of wanted to be nice and shit. But yeah, we've got some pretty bad issues. So every time we get to Black Lances, I'm going to start with that because Black Lances is a pretty good classic. One thing that I hate is seeing the Living Story Season 1 box. I hate that. You have skins. They're rare. They have value. People bought them for a lot of gold at some point because they were rare. They were not supposed to come back, and they were important to them. Like, they put a lot of money into it. I have some friends who bought the jetpack for 9k gold, and now it's 90 gold. Shit like this. This is wrong. And then you have some other shit that's wrong. You have an oversupply of materials that you can't even put a dent in. We got a new legendary. We got the Claw of the Canner. It looks decent. The draw effect is amazing. Like when you sheath and unsheath, it's good. This was supposed to drain materials from the economy. Nothing fucking happened. The amalgamated gemstones didn't rise as high as before. The Mystic Couriers didn't rise as high as before. The price of materials stayed nearly the same. Mithril didn't budge. Everything is wrong. The ectoplasms, they're still below 20 silver. Everything is trash, and the reason behind all of this is because we don't have a capable person at ArenaNet who is going to look at the supply of items and say, oh, maybe we got a tad too many there. Maybe we could add a sink. Maybe we could nerf the faucet. Maybe we could do something. But no. So you have issues of some skins being completely devalued, which is one thing. You've got, it is too easy to get stuff that was previously a goal, that was previously expensive. You have oversupplying of materials on another end. So Istan was probably the worst idea ever. Like we had multi-loot in Torreer that was already an issue that got fixed because we had an economist back then who said, oh shit, we did wrong. Then you get Istan, which is like twice worse. And the last issue being, we don't have any sinks. Legendaries are supposed to be the sinks. We're supposed to drain stuff out of the economy with this. It can't even happen because we've got so much of it. Or we don't have enough people wanting the legendary, which could be another thing. I'm pretty sure that a lot of them wanted it, and that it got crafted enough. Like I didn't check efficiency, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are making it or made it. So, yes, we have issues, and this is all because we don't have an economist at all.
Ooh.
So now you guys react. Let's go. But the last patch was good. Like snowflakes are being
so used. Selfish Ink says, "I don't give a damn because I'm getting the rewards I want."
But if the rewards are devalued,
yeah,
I guess it doesn't matter if you don't.
But there's a large group of people who just want the rewards, so they don't care about the actual value. They want.
Yeah. To play it only matters if you're. They
only want to play Faction Wars 2.
Right.
Yeah, but Myla, like, come on, think about it. Think 1 year
good for the
before
game overall?
Like,
no.
Think 1 or 2 years before. Think 1 or 2 years before in the game. Okay, like having legendary was an accomplishment. Like I remember when I played. No. Yeah, come on. When I played Guild Wars 2 at the first, like when I was being more serious in 2K14. That's the year where I really started playing seriously. Like having a legendary was something. People worked toward this legendary.
In the first year.
No, not in the first year. It was 2K12, 13. I'm talking 2K14.
So you like the Heart of Thorns legendaries.
Before Heart of
Thorns.
That's
15. That's 15.
Yeah. So like the year and a half before Heart of Thorns. Where
I don't know, man.
It built up.
Legendaries stopped being like a big thing after the first year, I'd say.
Yep. Since 2013. The fact that you could buy them from the trading post from day one.
There wasn't many people with twice told legend. There weren't that many people that just had legendaries. Like all the legendaries for your class meant something. Having all legends for your class meant something, dude.
Oh yeah, having all of them, sure. I mean,
for your class, that was dedication. Like right now, you can literally sneeze, win 2K gold at the Casino Gamble, buy any legendary from the trading post. You can do this.
Well, I mean, you can, but
you could, but it's not gonna happen. Trust me. Somebody who is more.
No, I didn't get that. No, I'm with Angels.
Angels.
You might still do it though because you have crazy luck.
Who is?
No, my luck on the gamble is bad.
Gambling bet. Like it's very unlikely to happen. I would love to see the statistics on the win-loss of the entirety of the game from the Ecto Gamble.
Well, probably it's already pre-programmed.
You can extrapolate the data that was posted to Reddit this week. Like Dan made a very good post where he said pretty much what the rates were. He put, I think he did 25k rolls or some shit. No, maybe a bit less. He did pretty.
Since the casino gamble is 99% likely to be pre-programmed to be a money sink, not a game. So then the statistics from that is going to be that it's a money sink because it's programmed to be a money sink.
It totally is, yeah.
But my point is like because I don't know. This is just a personal gripe with how legendaries work in Guild Wars 2 since 2012, but. I really like Boots was saying, like they've been so abundant throughout the game since 2013 that I don't think seeing a legendary, unless it's a brand new legendary that somebody made the day of, like DeRoyer, Wooden Potatoes had a guy in his guild who made it like the first day. People who stockpile that stuff and can make it the first day. Like unless you're one of the first people to have it, I really don't think they have that much prestige anymore.
And also, let's go towards different stuff. Okay, let's keep going. Like I see people saying things getting too cheap only affects TP barons. That's wrong. You are wrong, and you need to stop. Then another person say the economy shouldn't be built around accumulation of wealth to a tiny theory. Lanar Falcon, I know what you did 2 weeks ago,
Wait.
you're not someone who should be talking about this.
Wait,
Out of everyone here, you should not.
Oh, exposed.
Ooh,
Exposed. Like, no, I'm not gonna expose further than this, but I know what he's doing. I know that you're a rich boy, man. You're a rich boy. And just saying to the person who said stuff getting cheaper is good. Okay, let's look at different stuff. Like in Guild Wars 2, there are a few things that don't really change price, and the price is set with gold. For example, the conversion of gold to gems, like if you want to buy some Black Lion chests, this has remained about stable. But if all the materials are going to be very devalued, if it's not going to be much value in them, like you're going to farm for an hour, you're going to get like half of the gold that you used to get, let's say 6 months ago. So that means that you're going to need twice the time to get the amount that you want to change into gems to buy your keys and open your Black Lion chests. If the only thing you're looking is within the Guild Wars 2 economy, like it takes me like let's say 50 hours to farm and have gold through materials to buy the materials that I am lacking in craft my legendary, all the power to you. It was basically the same before. The amount of time didn't really change because the price of everything is leveled down at about the same pace. So overall,
what you're saying
it doesn't change much. But everything that isn't tied... Yeah, go ahead.
What you're saying is that the person that it benefits most when everything's devalued is raid sellers, because they have a specific amount of money that they get for each raid that doesn't get devalued or whatever, and they could buy more materials from it afterwards.
This works. I mean, when you are in a buyer's economy, if you have gold, you have the power. Because you can buy more than you could buy before. Technically, that's the thing.
I do have to say that they added the new Black Lion chest where you get lodestones. And because lodestones aren't worth nearly what they used to be worth, it's not that exciting to get lodestones out of that bag. Personally speaking, well, at least for me, it's not that exciting. On the other hand, you're talking about earning enough gold to convert to gems. But I'm pretty sure ArenaNet just wants you to buy gems out of your pocket.
Yeah,
they don't really want you to.
That is also true, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. You can't place one step further. Yeah, that's exactly what Mithrin has said. Like I have like beaten his previous argument, and he now goes on to saying the same thing as Inks, which is correct. Like ArenaNet is a company that needs money. We have already talked about that in previous TeaTimes, in previous videos, and everything. They need money. To get money, you need people to buy stuff in your gem store or buy to convert to gold. And if with the same amount of gems, you can get like the same amount of gold, but gold is worth more because materials are worth less, then of course, the people who have real life money are going to win. That's how it's going to end up being.
Yeah.
Like from the position
and new
of someone
players too. Or maybe not, actually.
Not really. But from the position of someone who plays the game, to get gold, to buy stuff that is bought with gold, he loses out. Because it's going to take longer for him to accumulate pure gold. If you look only at exchanging material to another material, it's the same. Like the material value drops down at the same pace. That's fine. Like previously with Ectos, when you had Ectos at 45 silver and you had the tier 6 blood at almost 1 gold, you had almost a 2-to-1 ratio. That works. And right now it's about the same. It's 18 silver and 36 silver. It works. It drops down on the same pace. But when you want to put that into gold, when you want to buy gems with it, you lose. And you have a lot of stuff that is on a fixed gold value. Vendor stuff. Trophies. For example, the Griffin Collection. Griffin Collection, in the previous economy, where in an hour you could farm 50 gold, that's 5 hours of farming. Current economy, where you get 20 gold per hour of regular farming or 25 gold, that's twice the time. That's what I'm saying. This is not really what we should have. And people who find pride in, I farmed so many hours to get my material and to buy my stuff, you're retarded.
Are there still fixed, more fixed reward per hour things in the game that aren't dependent on like not inflation, but deflation of things?
Not so many. I don't think there is anything that is tied to purely gold jobs. No.
So what's the solution here though? What direction does the game's economy need to go, and how does it get fixed? Like how do we fix this, Sam?
Give less rewards? That doesn't sound right.
No, it's not about giving less rewards. It's about finding a way to make rewards more valuable. And in order to do that, it's pretty simple. Like the state we were previously in, the economy was better. Your reward had more gold value, and you could buy more stuff with it. And the gold faucets were nearly the same. So it was just that people moved more gold around by buying the same amount of materials, if you guys can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that is something like, basically, if you have more things that people want that cost materials, that's good. Or if you have less materials dropping, but people still want the same amount, that's also good. Because in both ways, it's going to fix the economy. In my opinion, the good things that would have happened this time would be not to have a tier 5 food that does the same effect as the bowl of sweet and spicy button or squash soup. It would mean to have an equivalent. An equivalent that could have ultimately been account bound. That is not an issue because it ensures that people are not just going to craft it to sell it and just making profit off of others, which is basically what we do when we make money. It would have been a solution to just drain material from the economy. Let's say we have some materials that are being oversupplied. You just create a new food that has the same effect as the meta food. There's going to be less step in the craftings or cheaper to craft because obviously the materials are oversupplied. You're fixing it. People will want it.
Yeah.
You drain the materials. Materials gain in value. People pay more gold to get them. People move from that farm, from the old farm that they did to a farm that will give them this material. So the old farms are farmed less. The materials they give go up in price. Everything is leveled up. It works.
It's stabilized.
So we need
massive.
So they need to add massive sinks into the game, is what you're telling me.
Not necessarily massive. Like that's something John Smith did right. He tried a little, saw what happened, and then went like one step further. That's probably one of the reasons why people said he did nothing to the economy. He just took small steps to make sure he wouldn't just like destroy something. Easton is destroying. You give so much in one go, you can't control it. Multi-loot was basically the same. But adding a little sink, that's good. Then you trade out further. It's like you add an alternative to one food, you add an alternative to a consumable, you change the recipe around to make it require more of a material or less of a material. You just tweak stuff around until you reach a point where you say, okay, it takes about it takes this time to farm this amount of gold value that people can do this with, and you find a good ratio for it. That's a moment where it's balanced.
Yeah, a few people in the chat, including the potato, want to know what do you think of John's work in general? How did you feel about the economy when we were under his reign, as opposed to now? What are your thoughts on that, Sam?
Excuse me for a second. I was reading the chat. I didn't get your question.
Oh, no. I mean, chat wants to know what you think, what you thought about John's economy.
Like, needless to say, I enjoyed John's economy. Like, no joke. He managed to move stuff around when it was too fucked up. Like, people always shit on John Smith. They say, oh, this is bad. This is like the Q queued over changes and everything. What I see is changes that made stuff good. Like, look at Silk, for example. Okay, John Smith economy, start of the game. Silk was worthless. I remember when I played in 2K14 and almost up to 2K15, I vendored my Silk. I vendored it at 8 copper a piece because it was worth more than just keeping it laying around somewhere. I vendored all of my silk. I vendored all of my leather. And that was pretty bad. And he made, first of all, we got the Ascended armor changes. That was more demand. We saw that silk went up in price, Gossamer also a bit, but he didn't really get that far. Okay? And then we get slowly but surely draining of the silk in the economy. And it got to a point where silk was about 2 silver to silver and a half. And that made it worth to salvage armor. Salvaging armor was also a way to remove the abandoned pieces of armor from the economy and to quell the demand on silk. And so people who farmed and got a shitload of gear like blues and greens that everyone complained about, they got more value for it. The people who needed silk got silk to get a little lower in price. And eventually it stabilized around a silver and 80 copper. And that was fine. And everyone was suddenly fine with silk. That's what I'm talking about. John is the kind of person who did this. He fixed stuff. Not necessarily the best way, not necessarily the way that some people expected, but eventually stuff that was trash value became good value for everyone to find their fill at every type of game. People doing fractals and getting their gold rewards, also got armor that he could salvage and sell, the components. People who farmed materials sold them for a good gold price and could get their other stuff from there. Everything was fine and evened out. And this is what we don't have right now.
So something you talked about in a video you made about this actually was the problem with like how many kind of like very established veteran players there are, and the lack of fresh blood to a certain extent. Like, are there too many people? Well, to a certain extent, well, like everyone here, really, like very established players who kind of have pretty much everything, like an insane amount of ascended gear, huge amounts of materials, legendaries, gold in general. Like, surely, like the fact that there are a lot of players, like say Doroya or Snowcrow's Nico, who like craft legendaries day one, right, instantly. I think that's a bit of a problem, right? Like the fact that we have so many veteran players just kind of sitting around twiddling their thumbs, like rolling in gold, rolling in ectos, is kind of causing this devaluation, right? Especially with ectos. And look at ectos, man. Look at ectos. Look at them.
I'm gonna answer you right after I answer someone in the chat. Someone asked the question about Ghastly Grinning Shield going back to 100 gold. It actually went to 500 gold, and the reason behind that was because it got added as a recipe, like a recipe sort of. You can forge rare shields to get it in the forge, which is what brought the price down because it actually got like a faucet, unexpected from before. It caused like a crash in the prices because people thought it was going to be very easy to get it. It's still pretty hard to get it, so the price went back up. There you go. Teapot. The issue with everyone having ascended gear is not only everyone already having a lot of ascended gear, and many veterans play already having a lot of stuff. Another major issue that we have is currencies. Currencies are also an issue. The more stuff you can acquire with currencies, the less stuff you're going to acquire with materials. And that's also an issue. Like, for example, on my new account that I made not too long ago, I can just go gear myself in exotics and do the lower tier fractals. I'm going to get some ascended rings. That's what the game was meant to be. I'm going to get my ascended gear, trinkets wise, from this. That's good. And then I'm going to go into raids because, well, armor and weapons, come on, it doesn't matter so much. My DPS is still fine. I'm going to go into raids. I'm going to get magnetite shards. And then when I get enough of them, I'm just going to buy my armor. Or I could just, in fractals, use my pristines and buy armor. And every time I'm going to want to gear a new character, since I already grinded my raids before, since I already grinded my fractals before, I'm just going to spend my magnetite shards. I have 10k on my main account. Even if tomorrow I make 5 new characters, I can outfit them. I have enough drops, I have enough currency to just outfit all of my new characters into the best meta build there currently is for them. I can. And the issue is currencies. With currency, you can buy something that usually requires a few steps in crafting that were meant to take specific crafting materials outside of the economy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what you're saying is
that's a problem.
Yeah. So basically, the market of all those materials that could be used to make ascended armor is going to crash until it's as low priced and as easy to make as going into raids or doing all those other things that you just mentioned.
Pretty much this.
Yeah.
Pretty much this. Like, the mark system was implemented as a way to counteract this, but the mark system is only in PvP and fractals. And the marks sadly only use like basic crafting materials and are not going to like drain tier 6 materials, for example.
But the stuff that you buy with marks just can drop anyway, right?
Yeah, but the drop rates are not sufficient to gear your character. Like, it is faster to get magnetite shards than to expect raid drops that are going to fit what you want.
But so then it affects newer players. It doesn't really affect me. I could care less about the system.
Yeah, because you already have enough currency to just buy your stuff.
Well, it's...
Or enough drops to just use your previous drops.
I already have a character or two that's fully geared. I literally don't care about gear anymore. Like, I have the in-game gear. I just have to stat swap it, so I got to pay for that if I don't have legendary armor on a character. But otherwise...
Yeah. But if you make a new character... Okay. Right now, if you Inks make a new character, you probably got some drops from fractals. You probably got some drops from raids that you kept on the character, you kept in your bank or something. You're going to make your new character. You're going to use these. Yeah, you're going to use these drops, and you're going to gear a new character. Previously, you had to craft the gear for this character. Right. I remember when HOT came out.
Pain in the ass, dude.
I made a Revenant. I made a Revenant day 1 of HOT, and I crafted full Zoja armor for it. Because you couldn't have currency for it, and unless you dropped enough raiders' chests in fractals that had the proper stats for it. So Raider's chest is the one for like Zoja, for example. If I had like all the pieces for like boots, helm, etc., then it would have been fine. But obviously I didn't, so I had to craft the pieces that I was lacking, and this took materials out of the economy. But now today, if I'm going to make a new character or if I'm going to change the build on a character, I'm going to be like, do I really want to make new armor? Nah, I can just buy it from raids. Like, I want to try Grievers on my Weaver. I can just buy it from raids. I want to try Grievers on my Necro. I can just buy it from raids. Like, there is no getting materials out of the economy. And the more currencies you have, the more issue it creates.
Well, I'm probably not a good example of the overall community, but for me, the rewards that I might want are so high and unattainable gold-wise that either I just save for a super long time to buy it with gold, or I'm just totally not interested in getting it anyway.
What's impossible to get? What is that?
I'm not okay. Impossible is the wrong word.
Well, what's very difficult? What is a reward that's very
so like if you want one of the higher tier infusions or something, those can be rather expensive.
Yeah.
If you want let's say the throne was a very big thing, right? Like you could play and earn that eventually, but let's say you wanted to buy it. Even like legendaries to a certain extent. Let's say you want a Gen 1 legendary, you could save 2k gold or whatever it costs you to buy it, right? Like those are the big things as a 5-year player that have any sort of draw or attention for me. But these crafting systems, with the exception of food, like if there's food that I have to craft because I can't buy it, like that's the only thing I really craft anymore. Crafting is basically pointless to a player like me.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
It's a big problem. And as Sam says, it's huge. I mean, I avoid crafting something at all costs. I mean, hell, I even try to avoid stat swapping, man. Like, I'm that lazy. Right?
Stat swapping was a good addition, though. Because it forces you to use insignias and inscriptions. These take materials out. Yeah, that's good. And you need tier 6 materials to craft, so that's good. Every time you get a major patch that pushes like previously quantify now snow crews to change the builds, and suddenly some pieces need to be something else, you can see the price hiking up for these pieces, and that's good. That's the way it should be, because like suddenly there is a reason to use the materials. And stat swaps is a good thing. You are not helping, Teapot. You're not helping.
The thing is,
I guess that was kind of my point. Like I just accumulate like whatever drops. I just deposit. I don't even. Unless I come to something where I need gold, I don't do anything with materials. They just get deposited.
And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse, right? Because we're adding new raid wings, right? New raid wings are coming in, right? There's going to be constantly more and more drops getting injected. And the saturation kind of increases to the point where even kind of, even relatively new players, like relatively new veteran players, right, are going to be covered in loot, right? They're going to be covered in copious amounts of loot. And because of the fact that it doesn't really, you don't have to pay for it as such, it's a bit of a problem, right? It's a bit of a problem, and we're ending up in a situation where everyone's kind of got everything. Yeah, full clear, exactly. Imagine when there's 10 raid wings, right, guys? Like, imagine how much loot you're going to get from 10 raid wings. You know what I mean?
A whole bunch of blues and greens for me.
So it's just, what kind of sinks do we need to add? Like, what could possibly get us to spend currency and materials on stuff? It really is a bit of a puzzler. Do there need to be? Okay, here's the thing, right? And this is something that I would really like. Okay, really like. This sort of thing is really appealing to me. There's like the Fractal God achievement. That's a very long-term reward for fractals. Like maybe you have to add insanely long-term, like account-wide buffs. Right? Or infusions or stuff like that. No, we're not going to do new. They're not going to do new gear. They're never going to do that. But
we're
certainly
going back to account-wide buffs again, eh?
Account-wide buffs, dude. Seriously.
Even if they did,
buffs.
Let's entertain it for a second. Let's pretend, and they'll never do this, but let's pretend that they do something better than Ascended, which, by the way, people really hated when they went from Exotic to Ascended the first time.
They did.
But all of the
they were pretty excited, though.
A lot of long-time players, and especially if you're a raider, you're likely to have nearly a fully legendary character. So you're not going to affect any of those people with the new gear because legendaries will just match it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but not everyone it has that though, and you'll want it on every character as well if you're any player worth your salt, really, won't you? So.
Yeah. But like for example, like you're talking about the Fractal God in chat, and that was a good thing. Like it became a sink for agony infusions, and for people who had like thousands upon thousands of relics, like that was a good way to spend them. I'm saying that this is the good stuff, and we should see more of that. It's needed. But obviously, this only works a time. Like you put something like this in conjunction with a slight reduce in drops, for example, to make sure that you even stuff out in the end. Like for example, fractal encryptions don't drop relics anymore. So that means that you need to play fractals if you want to get the relics to get your title. And like, all of these small stuff made up together means that they get people to play the content, and they also get a way to remove the influx of materials from people playing the content more outside of the economy. The two done together is right. This is something that was unexpected. Like, I didn't see it coming that someone at ArenaNet would make a good decision like this, but it did happen. We just need more of that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I would love that stuff. Like, that stuff is really good. I mean, I eventually want to get Fractal God, right? And stuff like, you know, Raid God, Open World God. Hell, I would probably go for Open World God, man. Or all these other, you know, various...
ERP
titles,
God,
like,
my man. That's
ERP God. I don't do dungeons, dude. I'd have to get into some dungeons.
You gotta get started. Just hype the dungeons up again. You know, that's what you're about. You hype game modes. That's like, you make game modes alive again. Please do dungeons.
Yeah, I'll bring we're bringing dungeons back. As soon as they bring Dungeon God, we're bringing it back, boys. 100%.
Totally.
Yeah, stuff like like I said, infusions on various cosmetics. Maybe they just need to like crank the prices up of everything. Like maybe they need to make everything extortionately expensive. What about that, Sam? Like what if for the next legendary, it's just 2 times the price of the previous legendary? So you got to waste way more materials to make it or something. I don't know.
You got to make it twice as nice looking,
yeah, you have to make it twice as nice looking, exactly. Or maybe adding more skins in there. You have to add craftable skins, like more craftable skins or something. Like more.
Is it weird?
More stuff that you have to spend materials on. Like I don't know. It's a really tricky one because it's kind of really easy to get things. And actually, you know what? I would really love, as chat says, guild hall upgrades. Let's do something with a guild hall. Make it really worthwhile to get new guild hall upgrades, like more passives, right? Like more passive bonuses, like, more stuff you can do in the guild hall, more stuff to craft, more guild skins, more guild bonuses, stuff in the arena, stuff that you can only get from the guild hall, right? That you have to invest a huge amount of gold and materials in. Like make it take something like 1 million ectoplasm or some stupid bullshit to upgrade the guild hall. Like who gives a fuck, right? I don't even know. Like just have gold.
I don't know.
You're gonna need to like throw gold. You need to shit gold into the guild hall to upgrade it or something. I don't know.
The only problem is, and I've been part of several guilds with very high, like fully upgraded guild halls. And what generally happens with a guild hall is you have 5 or 6 people in a guild of 100 who donate everything, and everybody else just sort of leeches off the rewards.
But that's
fine. It's almost always been my experience.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I mean, sure. Yeah.
That's like.
Boots is one of them.
What are you talking about?
But it's like this in everything though. Like you're always gonna have some people who are gonna pay for someone else.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's fine though.
America.
I think that's fine.
I mean, I guess if they do a number of these to try and draw in different groups of people, it works. Like somebody said, like more craftable weapons or something to collect, and the Astral Stellar weapons. The reason I haven't made those yet is because they're just kind of annoying to make, so I just haven't even bothered spending time to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Just imagine stuff like you were talking about guild hall. Like right now, I have 2 things to say about this. First and foremost, the people who put the gold in the guild are usually the people who are going to make the most out afterwards. Like I paid 2K to push my guild to the point of scribing that I wanted to. And now I'm making gold off of scribing, and I already paid back these 2K gold wide and long ago. It's fine. And the second thing is, in guild hall, you also have a huge opportunity that ArenaNet hasn't explored yet for sinks. Imagine they make a new statue. A statue that's very cool of Cormier. But you need like 50 stacks of eyes of Cormier to make the eyes of the statue. Imagine. And then it's drained out of the economy. They're easy and people are proud. They decorate their guild. They're happy lads. And it's perfect. You know, and people
Yeah.
who already have a bunch of them because they farmed a lot or they opened a lot of bag or savaged a lot of gear, they're happy as well because they finally get some value for all the stuff that they have.
Because that is a big
So what
problem.
we need
it was
is
one of the
more
big
sinks.
Yeah, I think more sinks definitely, and I think a good way to do that would be the Guildhall, because of course that is that's one of the things that kind of didn't happen with POF, right? I mean,
there you go.
I mean, wait, there was
No,
no
it didn't.
update. There was literally zero update to the Guildhall system, right? Except
There's
the new
no-
except the new Guildhall, obviously, right?
There's no guild team,
Yeah.
right? So
There is the new Guildhall, and there is obviously the new statues from the raid boss. And that's it. And we get the same festival decorations that come back.
But I
But
think
there is
you
so
hit on
much unexploited behavior, like unexploited possibilities in there. You can do so much in Guildhall.
Yeah. I think
speaking
you hit
of
on
guild
it, it's-
halls,
oh.
sorry, go ahead, Boots.
No, it's just to sum up, I guess the economy issue is that one of the ways to solve it, instead of just reducing the drop rate of everything, is to introduce more and more sinks. Guild halls, other account-wide buffs, a bunch of these things are untapped reward potentials that are possible sinks that could be used. Yeah, just add more sinks. Many different types of sinks that, you know, like, because not everything's going to catch somebody's fancy. So you have to have many different types of sinks in order to catch the entire population's fancy to get rid of all the stuff they have. They should just keep on trying different sinks. Anything but the kitchen sink.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
There we go.
Is that how we fix the economy then, boys? Is that it?
Yeah.
I think that's, yeah.
It really doesn't take much. This is completely the kind of stuff that we should have, and hopefully it goes that way.
Personal housing, home instant stuff. Well, I mean,
Now, as far as the guild hall, Shaman posted something on Twitter. I don't know whether he posted it on Reddit. He probably did, but it looks like a lot of the chairs and stuff are getting remade.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. It's gonna be good. Imagine for all the friendly communities and all the social guilds and communities. Imagine just the pleasure of having like a guild night out. Like, that's this kind of stuff that I never do. But if I were in a casual, friendly community, maybe I would. Just like, you know, the people you do the guild missions with. Afterwards, you just go into the guild hall. You do like the jumping puzzle in guild hall. You change some stuff around. Everyone sits around the table. And you just chat around for an hour with the guys that you like. And yeah, that's cool. And I think that a lot of people would find this social aspect to be worth putting a little bit of gold towards making the whole place cooler. You think about all the people who played, I did as well, Minecraft with friends, and just build something amazingly cool, and you're so happy with the guys, and you know that the world is going to end at some point. You know that it's just going to disappear, and it doesn't matter because you had fun. It can be the same in Guild Wars 2. Like, even if you remove the decorations, even if you change guilds or something, it doesn't change the fact that at one point you enjoyed the building, you enjoyed doing everything with people, and there is unexplored potential in guild halls for that. There's so much that can be done. And I think that it needs to be like put forward.
Yeah.
But that maybe just me. Yeah.
And I mean, people are saying, "Oh, this is horrible. This sounds like roleplay." But hey, guys, we're dealing with a pretty casual game here. Like, this is it's fun. It's a bit of casual fun. Come on, guys, come on, it's fun. Yeah, and chairs, dude. Yeah, chairs. Not only finally it won't just be the disgusting elitist raiders who can sit, right?
Everyone can sit.
Everyone can sit now, boys. Yeah. Do you have anything else to talk about, lads?
I think that was pretty good.
I think that was pretty good. I think that was a pretty conclusive there. Pretty full coverage on all these topics here. So I think that will do it for this tea time, guys. And let us commence the shilling, my friends. Okay, Sam, you're a money man. Okay, market manipulator. Okay, market yourself. Go.
Okay, so my name is Sam. I have decided to branch out from Guild Wars 2 because the economy hurt my feelings a bit too much, and now I am all about these IRL streams in which I make food that I don't eat because it's too fat and it's going to ruin my diet. And that's it. That's who I am. No, jokes aside, I do stream the gameplay of Guild Wars 2, raids, fractals sometimes, some PvP maybe, and I make videos about the economy on YouTube. That's it.
All right, there we go. The returning man. World of Boot Spurs. He's back. He's got bad builds. He's got various other things. No one said he was wrong today. Feels good, man. Tell us about what you're into these days. Oh, you're muted, dude.
You're
muted.
Yeah.
You're muted. You're wrong, man. You're wrong. There you go.
So close. No, I'm Sam Majeste's attorney. I'm here to make sure that he doesn't say anything about the heinous allegations of market manipulation from one Teapot. It's you know what? We're not even going to talk about it because it's just so ridiculous. Okay. And yeah, there's I got bad builds. I got 2 light armor left, but then I just realized that I also haven't done warrior yet. I haven't done the spellbreaker build yet, and I got to think of that too. So I might do those after the next balance patch, which I assume is coming soon because they talked about it recently, right? Right?
Yep, they did a post. We didn't actually talk about that post, but I guess we can talk about that some other time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Anyway, there you go.
All right. There you have it. Be sure to check out World of Enders. And then finally, for the first time ever, MMO Inks, not shitting on Guild Wars 2, now endorses Timey. He is getting the tattoo soon.
Yep, that's right.
It's MMO Inks. What are you up to these days?
Tattoo of Timey. Had a bit of a rough week. We'll be back next week with streams. So for anybody who missed, like last week, we didn't do any streams, unfortunately. Sometimes that stuff just happens. It's unfortunate. There will be a lot of videos coming out. First the playthrough, then Black Lion Chest, and then we'll sort of go from there. So there's quite a bit of content to cover, obviously, with Tuesday's release. And we'll be back to streaming really soon. There's also going to be some tech content coming to the channel.
Ooh.
Pretty soon.
Oh,
so keep an eye out for that.
Tell me. Tell us now.
Is this your partnership with Linus Tech Tips because you're Canadian? Is this
Tech
finally?
Tips?
Yeah,
MMO Tech Tips?
Yeah, don't I wish. Definitely going to be doing a video on re-sleeving an all-in-one cooler. That should be fun.
Ooh.
And just a couple of other things. I've got some stuff I've ordered that's coming in, and when it comes in, we'll be doing some reviews and how-to guides on some of that technical stuff. So that should be fun.
There we go. So
Okay.
fresh Inks content, very interesting stuff coming up. Then finally, guys, if you like this stream, if you enjoy this stream, if you enjoy Guild Wars 2, if you enjoy memes, if you enjoy Gachamuchi, then there is no better place to be than right here on this stream. Okay, guys, hit that follow button. Hit the sub button. Support your content creators. Sub to everyone here, guys. Come on. We're impoverished. Like, I have a green screen, so you can't see like the hovel I'm living in right now. On the street. On the street. So yes, please. No, I'm kidding. All right. Anyway, follow everyone here. Yeah, follow me on Twitter as well. Not MMO Inks. I don't want to see any of you guys following MMO Inks. Don't do that.
How
shit.
terrible of you.
I don't want any of that.
Oh. One last thing.
Oh, yeah?
Because about Twitch, if you guys, some of you out there might be getting emails saying to resubscribe to particular people maybe you used to subscribe to, that's not coming from the creators.
Yeah, that's
so if
automated.
It's not coming from Teapot, myself, or Sam. That's coming from Twitch, unfortunately. I don't know why they're doing that, but apologies if you get flooded.
They're doing this because they get a cut from it. Like Twitch gets part of the money.
It was because there was an issue with they accidentally unsubbed a bunch of people. That's why Twitch accidentally cancelled a bunch of subs for people, so they were just reminding. They're not going to do that. They're not going to keep doing that. They're not going to keep doing that.
That's fair game then. Yeah.
It was like a weird kind of reminder thing. Because there was a tech error on their behalf that kind of memed them or something. I don't know. There was some weird stuff. But anyway, follow everyone, subscribe to everyone, click all the links below the stream, and we'll see you guys around. I'm sure. Yeah, I know you guys are going to be everywhere. Like, we're going to be everywhere too. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you had a good time. You guys have the good rest of your evening or whatever time it is for you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.